Everybody need to come outside.
Yo, this is us knocking on Ox door.
No, don't knock on the door like that. No, do not knock on the door. We outside. Yo, Ox, where you at, big fella? Yo, hey, big Ox, come to the window. Yo, what up, yo? I know you hear us calling you. What's up, big fella?
Yo, Ox, we don't mean no harm, and we're not gonna break in or anything like that. We just want to talk to you, bro. We just got some things that we need to iron out. Right, Damo?
Absolutely. I'm right behind Chill, banging on the door, throwing pebbles out the window. I gotta talk to Ox.
Ew, big fella, come to the window. What up, man? Come on downstairs. We need to holler.
I'm telling you, it's not that serious. We just gotta check it. Wellness check.
That's all we need to do, big man. We just need to holler at you. We got some things that we need to iron out. Mars, I'm glad I got you on here this morning because I got a question for you. And I know that you guys want to talk about this real quick. Mars, why are guys afraid to accept the challenge? And I don't mean specific guys. I mean coaches. Like Ewing didn't get switched on to Avery Johnson. David Robinson was his matchup. Shaq didn't get switched on to Eric Snow. Mutombo was his matchup. That's who he had to deal with. That's who Mutombo had to deal with. Why is Aaron Gordon dealing with Joker? I mean, why is Aaron Gordon dealing with Joel Embiid? You wonder why he got 17, 18 points in the first quarter. Because I got a 6'9" dude covering me. He can't cover me. And the idea, if he covers him, well, he might get in foul trouble early. Well, ain't that part of it? Big Damo, that's like me getting in the ring with you and going, well, I ain't getting in the ring with Damo because if I get too close to him early, he might punch me in the face. Ain't that part of it?
Well, Mars, did you want to go because he asked you first, or because I can answer it? It's easy to me.
Yeah, you can go ahead. I'll answer after you answer.
I mean, coaches now realize if you got a bad defender, why make him suffer? Jokic can't defend Embiid. Aaron Gordon had a better chance. No one can defend Embiid realistically in NBA. He is unguardable. That size, that skill set, that ability, no one can guard him. But Aaron Gordon puts up a way better chance than Jokic. And I subscribe to the belief that in this era of basketball, it is very normal when you have a guy who does so much on offense, your coach might not want to work him as much defensively. In all honesty, we've seen that before with super offensive talented guys. They're not working their tails off night in and night out on the defensive end. Their coaches put a system around them that allows other guys to step up defensively while they carry the offense.
I just think about. Go ahead, Miles. I'm sorry.
Embiid also didn't guard Jokic. I'm just putting out there. It was Tobias Harris and Nicholas Batum guarding him, and then for some reason they were switching Patrick Beverley on him. So
nuts.
So both teams weren't guarding each other. I don't want to just make it seem like Jokic ducked the matchup. He started on Embiid, then came off him pretty quickly. But it's because it's not in the team's best interest to have Jokic guard Embiid. For the spectacle, that's what you want to see. But these coaches aren't here for your spectacle. They're here to try and win a game. Right. And if Jokic getting in foul trouble is a detrimental thing to your team, I'm not going to put my player at risk of being in foul trouble just so I can appease some fans who want to see that matchup. So they're looking at it from that perspective of, I know Jokic can't guard him. I also know Aaron Gordon can't guard him. But who would I rather lose to foul trouble? Jokic or Aaron Gordon? I'm going to rather lose Aaron Gordon. I'm not going to risk Jokic for that sake. Also, Embiid didn't guard Jokic because Embiid is a better roamer than a post defender. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to have Batum and Tobias Harris on him primarily. Then Embiid can roam off Aaron Gordon, who can't shoot, make his life easier. And that's what was so impactful. Part of the reason why Jokic only got 1 assist to Aaron Gordon last night, because your Embiid as a roamer was that impactful. So I think it's just they care more about the overall success of their team than just having a matchup that fans want to see. Now, would I have liked to see Embiid guard Jokic and Jokic guard Embiid more? Sure. But I understand why it didn't happen. And that happens all around the league. I don't think we live in the 2000s where Kobe guards T-Mac, even though T-Mac didn't really guard Kobe. But Kobe guarded T-Mac. Or in the 90s, if you'd have Scottie Pippen guarding an elite wing like Grant Hill or MJ guarding Magic Johnson. We don't have that anymore. That's just not how the game goes. And most of the superstars aren't elite defenders anymore either. That's another thing.
It's despicable, right, Morris?
I'd rather have the best players be elite on both sides of the ball. But if we're talking about elite on both sides of the ball, and not just elite because Giannis is an elite defender to me, but one-on-one, he's not an elite defender. He brings great value help side, rim protection, bro. We're talking about elite man defenders or elite post defenders and elite offensive players. There's maybe 2, 3 in the league. Maybe you feel KD's elite after what you seen last night. But like elite man defenders and elite offensive players, you got, if you want to call Shea elite, I wouldn't, but if you want to call Shea elite, Kawhi maybe Anthony Edwards.
He used to be.
Like, there's just not many of them left in the league. Jimmy Butler's fine. Like, there's not many in the league anymore. And maybe that's a problem. Maybe it's not, but that's just how I think it is.
I'm trying to think.
Rudy Gobert?
And you're right.
He's not an elite.
He's not elite offensive ball. He's not.
There's not many elite on both. Yeah.
Well, there's plenty good, but I don't know about
Bam.
Yeah, elite.
Not elite offensively, but Bam.
I think he's becoming elite offensively. In all honesty,
yeah, Bam. If you're willing to throw Bam into that like tier of he might be elite offensively, and he's definitely elite as a man defender, sure. But like, we're kind of clutching at straws at that point.
Well, 2 things. Number one, I think we're in the prime years. I'm sorry, not the prime, the peak years of Bam. I think that this 20 and 10 year, I think that you could get another 3-4 years of this. But to your point, Mars, you said that if I have the choice between both Aaron Gordon and Joker, who I want in foul trouble, I mean, if we're talking about a defender, sure, Joker isn't the defender that Joel Embiid is. I think Joel Embiid is a better roamer than he is a one-on-one defender on the perimeter. I think he's a good defender on the box. I don't think he's a terrible defender on the box. I think he's a good defender on the box. But with that being said, if you don't want to get in foul trouble, don't foul. How about you do your homework on the guy?
It's Embiid. I'm sorry.
Hold that thought right quick. Hold that thought right quick. I forgot it's new rules here on the panel. It's a new year, new rules, new whole infrastructure and institution that we working on here. Speaking of institution, pimp named Slickback said, "Morning, fellas. Glad to see better. Everyone's back. I ran into Ben Simmons this morning in Chelsea. I was worried if he was in witness protection. Turns out he's an IG model and has retired from the NBA."
Actually, he has not. He just said he's coming back really soon. He did say that.
Where's Chelsea?
It's in Manhattan.
I didn't know you had one.
It's in downtown Manhattan. It's not.
He's been coming back for 5 years. I feel like now.
Hey, Redemption arc coming soon. Redemption arc.
Redemption arc part 2. This year was
the first one failed a little bit, but part 2 definitely gonna hit. Part 2 definitely.
If you ever seen Power with Ghost, where Ghost lives, that's Chelsea.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. Anyway,
that's where he's doing his model shoots and stuff like that.
I guess I don't know. But to what we were just talking about, Mars. I understand that. I mean, Joel Embiid is impossible one-on-one. I will not argue that. That has never been my argument. Joel Embiid is impossible one-on-one. I, as a big, however, at 6'10", at 7 feet, Joker is handsy. Not only is Joker handsy, Joker keeps his hands busy. Joker can move his feet. He's not an elite defender, Mars. He is going to try, and he can recover when he gets beat. Now, again, I'm looking to make things difficult on Joel Embiid. I'm not saying stop him. And when you got a big guy like Joker, I think that the refs would be more inclined to let these guys be a little bit more physical, not pushing guys over, but I think that they would be more. Now, hold on, Damo. What I'm saying is not fouling or anything like that or pushing guys over. This is not 1995. No, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is be a little bit more handsy, right? Getting a hand in a guy's face, being a little bit more physical. That kind of stuff wears on a guy as the game goes on. When we get deep into the game, that 15-footer that you knocked down over Aaron Gordon in the first quarter, when you got this kind of size advantage on him as opposed to Joker, who's looking you right in your face, that rim doesn't look as close when you're in the third quarter or in the fourth quarter. That rim doesn't look as close when you get a hand up. But I just feel like
he does it on offense.
Who does it on offense?
Jokic, he's a bully on offense. He throws his weight around. He leans on guys. He's super physical. He jumps all over you. He's laying all on you. He's trying to beat you up. Why not on the defensive end?
And he could do that. And that's my point. And the thing I'm wondering is, would the officials allow that with that much physicality on both sides of the basketball? Because if they allowed that, I think that Joker would make it a little bit more difficult on him. Mars, what I'm not saying is that Joker can stop Joel Embiid. I am not saying that. What I am saying is that a body like Joker leaning on Joel Embiid throughout the game, putting hands on him, making it difficult on them. That wears on a big guy. So when we get late in games, that 40 might look like, instead of it being, I don't know, 12 for 17, it might be 12 for 26 or something like that.
I feel like, honestly, the reason why it's not that is because, A, the refs aren't consistent when they're calling certain matchups and calling games. That's one reason. You might get a game or two where they let some things slide. They allow you to be more physical, but players can't trust that because that's not going to be the same call every game. That's not going to be the same way you're calling the game every matchup. So that's one thing. Secondly, in terms of why Jokic isn't on Joel Embiid or why we're not seeing more of that in today's game, because competition isn't enough to drive these guys to want to go at each other. Back in the day, competition was enough for me to be like, nah. It was enough for Kobe to be like, nah, I'm on T-Mac. I'm locking that up. That was enough. Today, competition alone is not enough for a guy to be like, nah. It's not enough for Ant to be like, I'm on Jason Tatum all night, and Tatum to be like, I'm on Ant all night. Competition is not enough for that. You need something else. They need extra. They need Giannis to storm in and take the ball. They need Draymond to wail on somebody or kick somebody in the nuts. They need extra stuff to make it personal to take that challenge. Or the game need to be on the line. Something needs to happen. Kawhi needs to go on the sideline during the series. F that. I got Antetokounmpo. I got Giannis. We're switching up right now. Happens mid-game. I take that challenge then. We'll see that then. When the game's on the line, when stuff's on the line, stuff like that, we'll see somebody take the challenge. But for the most part in the regular season, nah, man, we're just trying to win. And the best way for us to win, put our best defender or the guy known as our best defender on their best offensive player, save our best offensive player to do our thing on offense. Because like Mars pointed out, Embiid's not guarding Jokic either. So why wear out our bad defensive guy or the guy deemed bad defensively if their guy who's supposed to be this all-defensive player isn't even guarding him? It doesn't make sense.
And so in light of all of this, we had an MVP clash yesterday, in case you missed it. The Denver Nuggets played against the Philadelphia 76ers, obviously Joel Embiid and Jokic going head-to-head. I was pleased with the matchup. I thought they both put on a show. I thought it was a good matchup between both teams. Joel Embiid went ballistic, how he's been doing. He's on a tear right now. He had 41 and 10, 7 rebounds, and that is 10 assists. Nikola Jokic came with his 25, 19, didn't really get too involved facilitating. But who would you guys say?
Let's say he won the matchup.
Who would you say? Was it clear?
Embiid played better than Jokic.
Okay.
I think most people would agree with that. I don't know how many offensive rebounds Jokic had, but
11.
It was a lot.
Yeah, like 11 or 12.
Yeah, it was a lot. Like his 20 shots, like they weren't like Embiid. I don't know how many shots Embiid took, but I think they took similar amount of shots. But Embiid shots is like you go to Embiid, he's gonna go score. A lot of Jokic shots were other people took a shot and he got a rebound and then got a putback, or he'll score if he had Patrick Beverley on him. He did that like 3 straight times. He weren't really looking to score, which is like that's kind of what Jokic is. But that's why Embiid had a loud 40, whereas Jokic had kind of a quiet 25. That's kind of the deduction I have. He wasn't really aggressive trying to score, but he still scored 25. Whereas Embiid was trying to score on every single person that was guarding him. And it worked. Although his 10 assists, there was a couple assists he got where Batum just made a crazy shot or Kelly Oubre made a crazy shot. I'm like, I mean, you get an assist, but like, at the end of the day, that's not shot making. I'm like, that's not really playmaking. So I'm like, that's cool. And Jokic, all of his assists came in the first quarter, I think. I don't think he got an assist after the first quarter, which is not because he weren't passing. They just weren't making shots. Or they'd make the extra rotation and Jamal Murray would get an assist or someone else would get an assist. So I think Philly did a great job defensively to slow down Jokic's playmaking. But Embiid won that matchup, clearly.
The thing I have a problem with is seeing the numbers and immediately thinking that, Joel Embiid dominated Joker when he didn't really cover him that much. This is what goes back to me saying I would much rather see this matchup with these guys together, then I can have a better assessment. Don't get me wrong. Joker did cover Joel Embiid throughout the game, and he did do a good job on him throughout the game when he did cover him. It wasn't like every time he covered Joel Embiid scored on him, because that's not true. And I also think that, contrary to popular belief, he kicked Joel Embiid's ass on the backboard. Kicked his ass. I think this is one of the biggest deficiencies of Joel Embiid when he goes up against bigger guys. I've seen him give up 15 rebounds to Anthony Davis. I've seen him give up 17 rebounds to Rudy Gobert. This is something that could be a problem in the playoffs. Don't get me wrong, Mars. Joel Embiid is buckets, and he's more looking to score, right, Damo? I think he's looking to score more when he gets the basketball. Joker, on the other hand, he's looking to get guys involved, and I think that that's more valuable than what Joel Embiid is doing. I'd like to see these guys, because they play again next week. I'd like to see this matchup. I'd like to see it more frequent.
We don't know if Embiid's going to play in Denver. He hasn't done
it.
So maybe he'll play. I don't know. I'm not.
Joel, the same way we need Big Ox to come outside, we need you to come outside too. You better play in Denver.
Yeah, I'm not certain they play
on time.
It might be Jokic v. Paul Reed next week. It might be. But if Embiid's not guarding Jokic isn't beating Embiid on the backboard. He's getting rebounds over Tobias Harris and Nicholas Batum. Embiid isn't boxing out Jokic because he's guarding Aaron Gordon. There was one rebound he got over Embiid that was very memorable. I remember that, and then he kicked out for an open three. I can't remember who made it.
No, Mars. No.
We just said 2 minutes ago Embiid wasn't guarding Jokic. And now we're saying Jokic was dominating Embiid on the backboard when they aren't boxing each other out.
It don't matter. It don't matter, Mars. That's the problem. Joel has to go get the ball.
That doesn't make sense. How can we acknowledge he's not guarding him and then say he's getting scored on the
Okay,
rebound?
so
it don't gotta make sense. That's basketball. If me and Damo are on a team, and you and Chill are on the team, and Damo's guarding Chill, and Chill gets 19 rebounds, my coach should be looking at me like, yo, go get the ball.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm not saying Embiid shouldn't get the rebounds. I'm saying Jokic isn't killing Embiid on the rebounds if he's not battling Embiid for the rebounds.
Why isn't he in there though, Mars? That's the problem. Why? I understand. I do understand.
So if Jokic is on this side over here,
right,
and Aaron Gordon is on this side with Embiid,
right,
and the ball goes to this side, Jokic is battling Tobias Harris and Nicholas Batum for rebounds, and that's why he's killing them because he's bigger than them and stronger than them and getting the rebounds. And Embiid is having to crash from the other side, which is making it more difficult for him to get rebounds. Which is, I'm sure, something Nick Nurse thought about and understood. Hey, we're gonna have to sacrifice some offensive rebounds if we're gonna run Aaron Gordon and Joel Embiid as a matchup, and not Joel Embiid and Jokic. He understood that it was a trade-off. He accepted it. But to then blame Embiid for not getting the rebounds when we can see that Embiid isn't the one matching up with Jokic for rebounds, when we just acknowledge they aren't guarding each other, kind of counterintuitive, in my opinion. Like, you want to say Embiid should still get the rebounds, fine. But to say that he's killing Embiid on the backboard is not true, in my opinion.
And real quick, can I just point out, because it's not just up here in the chat too, it's nasty work how Embiid can go out there, drop 40, get the W, and we got people, but he rarely let Jokic get that many boards. Like, all right, bro, like, what? The man won the basketball. At the end of the day, this is about wins and losses.
7 rebounds,
Seven rebounds. He won the game and dropped 40.
I do understand that. 7 rebounds, though, big Damo. 7 rebounds.
To walk away from that game and be like, nah, we got to knock you for something. It's crazy to me. Like,
and I understand that.
He played great.
Yes, he did. He was fantastic. Yes, he was. That part I'm not going to argue. But he did give up. But as a 5-man, one of my jobs is to rebound. Don't get me wrong. I do score because the offense does run through me. One of my jobs as a 5-man is to rim protect. It's to man the paint. It's to rebound. And to get 7 rebounds in the game, Mars, I can appreciate your logic of him having to deal with Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon is not Dennis Rodman. Aaron Gordon is not Charles Barkley. So once I see Aaron Gordon is 16 feet away from the basket, stick your nose in there and go get the basketball. Because I got a big fella in here who's killing my guy, Tobias Harris. How about I get myself in there and help him rebound? Because 11 rebounds, 11 offensive rebounds throughout the game, that could have been a detriment. Don't get me wrong. Jamal Murray didn't turn the basketball over until the fourth quarter. That's when he turned the basketball over. But these 11 offensive rebounds moving forward for other teams, well, if he can rebound against them, we can rebound against him too. Not just another 5-man. This could be a problem moving forward.
But Chill, but Chill, all I'm saying is it's not like this is Mo Bamba or Bol getting 19 to 20 rebounds. Like a guy that's not, we letting this guy who's not even a rebounder get all these boards, and this is crazy. Jokic is one of the, and let me make sure I'm not just chatting. I'm pulling it up right now. I'm going to say, is he not one of the league leaders in rebounds? We're talking about another phenomenal rebounder. It makes sense. He's right above him. He's 4 and Embiid's 5. We're talking about 2 of the best rebounders in the league. All right, cool. As we've seen scheme-wise, Embiid was put in a position where he was getting less boards than Jokic. We understand the context of it. We know why it happened. It wasn't as simple as, Embiid just got outworked by Jokic. No. Schematically, he was put in a situation to get less rebounds. He got more points, and he got the win. He outproduced and he got the win. That should be the only thing that matters.
that's not what we up here to do. We're not up here just to say, oh, this team won the game. Okay, great. We talk about different aspects of the game.
We up here to nitpick the final argument.
It's not nitpicking. That's what you're up here to do. It's not nitpicking. It's not nitpicking. It's just talking about the game. You know what I'm saying? It's just talking about the game. The rebounds was brought up, and I feel. And so, for instance, Damo, you know how when you playing not a 2-3, let's say you're playing a 3-2 zone, right? Let's just break it down to that. If we're playing a 3-2 zone, I'm not guarding anybody. I have to win. So the scheme is, I got this area, you got this area. Somebody comes through, we bump the cutters. I get the high post if the ball goes there. But when the shot goes up, you have to go get the ball.
All rebound.
You know what I'm saying? You have to go get the ball. That's all I'm saying. Like, I understand that the scheme was for Joel to guard him and for whoever. It was different matchups. But I know that this man over here is a complete animal on the boards. I have to close out on my man, hit him, and go help. I have to go help him stay off the glass. That's all I'm saying. If it's just as simple as, okay, you got your man on the boards, we're just gonna watch. We can't play like that.
But did
Embiid did win, and they did win the game, and I'm very well aware of that. And but on the rebounds, as we all know up here, rebounds can turn the whole tide of the game. And I don't feel like we should be allowing that to happen.
And on top of that, don't get me wrong, Mars. Yes, Embiid did crash the boards, but Joker shouldn't almost triple my production on the backboard. He should not almost triple that. Don't get me wrong, Damo. I can appreciate the fact that they won the game, right? I can appreciate the fact that they won the game, and he did go for 41. Well, he was making some free throws at the end of the game, so that 41 can be a little bit misconstrued. Sure, he was
unethical 41. I feel it.
Joel go get some unethical.
Right.
But
he was one for 3.5. That was crazy, but
it was a little bit misconstrued. However, when you're talking about big guys, when I see a team, their big guy, not Joel Embiid, Ox, for example, he gave up 16 rebounds to this guy. My first thought process is, we can rebound against him. Not just you, big man. We can rebound against him. He can be had. So a guy like Aaron Gordon, who is not an elite rebounder, I can roam off of him and rebound more. 7 rebounds is not enough. I'll take 10 less points. From Joel Embiid, that 40. I'll take 28 and 15 rebounds because what I'm doing is, as I'm taking away those second chance points, not only am I taking away those second chance points, I'm giving my team more opportunity on offense and giving them less opportunity and giving them more having them having to stop us more on defense. I'll take 10 less points from Joel Embiid if he gives me 6, 7, 8 more rebounds. I'll do that because I think that hampers their offense.
Aaron Gordon himself averages 3 offensive rebounds a game. So he's a very good offensive rebounder because the Nuggets front line is very big and they do a very good job of crashing the offensive rebounds. So Embiid didn't have an easy job with Aaron Gordon. Also, if Embiid is boxing out Aaron Gordon or stopping Aaron Gordon from getting offensive rebounds as much as he can, and the ball goes to the other side of the rim, Embiid can't teleport. Like, he's trying to get rebounds.
No.
But if the ball's going towards where Jokic is, and Jokic is battling with Nicholas Batum and Tobias Harris and Marcus Morris and whichever other wings they had on him, and Paul Reed, whenever that was the case, he can't magically get a rebound. He's not Dennis Rodman, who just seemed to appear everywhere. Like, he's not. So we can understand. We all watch the game. We can understand Embiid wasn't just leaking out, not trying to get rebounds. He was there. He was trying to get rebounds. And when the rebounds came to him, he got them. Same thing we could say for Jokic. He had 1 defensive rebound in the first half. 1. Was he not crashing? Was he not doing his job? Or can we understand that Jokic was also having to play further away because he wasn't on Joel Embiid? He was having to play further away from the basket. And also, the Nuggets had guys like Michael Porter Jr. and KCP who had come down and crushed the defensive glass, and that was helping them. But because he got a bunch of offensive rebounds, we can just let Jokic slide for getting 1 defensive rebound in the first half? Does it not matter he's not getting defensive rebounds? Or can we say, hey, Jokic needs to get more defensive rebounds? Or
yes, 100%. Yes, he needs the rebound.
So my whole point is just like, I feel you don't have to call it nitpicking because I understand we're talking about the game, but I think the context to the stats is important. I'm a huge stickler for context, and I think there's context to why Embiid didn't get many rebounds in that game, and there's context to why Jokic didn't get many defensive rebounds in that game. There's context to why Jokic only had 3 assists. It's not like he wasn't passing the ball. Like, there's just context to all these stats, and I think that's what's important. And the reason I brought up the assist because I saw someone say in the chat, "Are we not bringing up that Embiid tripled Jokic's assist?" Jokic still passed the ball better than Embiid in that game. Sorry to tell you, he still did. They just didn't capitalize off it directly, or they would make the extra pass, or they would miss the shot. Jokic still was a better playmaker in that game than Embiid. Embiid's still not a very good playmaker, despite the 10 assists. So, context.
And I think right now is a good time to also say that Embiid's streak of having at least 30 points and 10 rebounds, it was at 16 games last night. Obviously, he didn't get 10 rebounds, so it ended last night, but he was tied with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and anyone not named Wilt Chamberlain in NBA history with that. So he was on a tear rebounding, and last night, I guess you could say Jokic ended that streak, but he managed to get 10 assists, which was actually surprising. I was pleased with that from Joel Embiid. And on top of that, I think Joel Embiid balled last night, and he has the NBA on notice right now. I think it's a lot of eyes on Joel Embiid, and deservingly so. But that leads me to my next question.
Wait, Ron, real quick, because you said Jokic ended that streak. I don't think it's fair to say Jokic ended that streak. I think it's fair to say that Joel just didn't get the 10 rebounds.
Why didn't he get it though?
I don't think it was because of Jokic. It was because of Joel. But
yeah,
that's all.
He ain't won the 10 rebounds. He was chilling. He got his points. He was chilling.
As of right now, fellas, who's number one on the MVP ladder? And keep in mind, I just read the MVP ladder yesterday. Let me share it with you guys right now, just so you can see what the NBA has as the MVP ladder at the current moment. And then you guys let me know if you agree with this as currently constructed. So you can see at 5, you have Giannis. I'll start at 10. At 10, Kawhi. 9, Tyrese Halliburton. 8, Anthony Davis. 7, Domantas Sabonis. 6, Jason Tatum. Then you go to 5th. It's Giannis Antetokounmpo. 4th, Luka Doncic. 3, SGA. 2, Nikola Jokic. And 1, Joel Embiid. Is this consistent right now as stands?
Looks right to me.
They got the right 5 names.
I would say, in terms of names, yeah, I'm surprised they're not doing the typical NBA narrative thing. So that's great.
What's the typical NBA narrative thing?
Usually, it'll at least be one of the teams that one of the best player on the best team thing. They'll throw one of those guys in there. But I'm not seeing.
Tatum is on there. He's not on the top
Jason? 5. Well, no. I'm saying in the top 5. I would assume
they got SGA at 2. They got SGA at 3.
Well, I was thinking one of the. I would say a team that was the first seed, at least one of the first seed teams, would be in the top 5. Not necessarily be leading it, but at least be in the top 5. But I don't know about the races in last year where it was in January and the year before that where it was in January. Maybe it is a normal thing, and then by the end of the year, the winning factor kicks in. So I like
the thing about it is all the top teams are fairly close. So it makes sense for Jokic to be up there, and obviously he's playing. It's Jokic, you know the numbers and the way he's playing. SGA, they're obviously right there. Boston has the best record in the league. The Sixers and the Bucks, they're right there on Boston's heels and on the Timberwolves' heels. But speaking of the Timberwolves, you're kind of right, Damo. I'm surprised that Anthony Edwards isn't there because he's averaging 26. They've, for the most part, been dominant this year. They got big wins against some of these other teams. I'm surprised he isn't even in the top 10.
Averaging 26 and playing phenomenal defense.
Is Anthony Edwards more valuable on that crew than Rudy is?
Yes, in my opinion, yeah.
Because it's the difference between being a better player.
I'd be willing to have the conversation, but I'm not in the mood to start talking about why Rudy Gobert's defense is so valuable. So I'll just say Anthony Edwards is more valuable.
Because people, Mars, unfortunately, people don't want to have this conversation. Immediately, when you hear this kind of stuff, it immediately goes to the logic that Rudy is better than Anthony Edwards, which I was asking a simple question of, is Anthony Edwards more valuable? When I think about what Rudy brings to that team in terms of value, why they're at the top of the Western Conference. The first thing that you brought up, Ron, when you brought up Anthony Edwards, who you know how I feel about him, the first thing you said was he averaged 26 a game. That's the first thing that you said. You didn't say anything else. You didn't talk about how good he was defensively. You didn't talk about his ability to distribute or anything like that, what he does in the clutch. Nothing. First thing you brought up was buckets. That's it. And I understand that this is a game where the idea is to put the ball in the basket, but there's so much more going on when you're talking about being the MVP. The MVP is the most valuable player to his team's success. The most valuable player is not, and sometimes it's the best player in the league, and sometimes it's not. That's where it gets misconstrued. So that's why I'm bringing up the question: is Rudy Gobert more valuable on the Minnesota Timberwolves than Anthony Edwards?
Now, let me ask you this, Chilltown. I'll raise you that question with this question: is Derek White more important on his team for his team's success than Jason Tatum?
We can have that conversation. We can absolutely have that conversation because he's more. And you know how I feel about Jason Tatum, and in terms of him being a player. But when you're talking about a Swiss Army knife, whatever you need me to do, when some of these guys don't have it going, I can get us buckets. When you need a stop, I could get us a stop. I'll go stick my nose in there and rebound, even though Jason Tatum is the best rebounder on the team. I'll do that. I can distribute also. I can move around and play the one. I can play the two. I can play the small forward. So when you got a guy like that on your crew that's that valuable, you take him off the crew. Could we still win games? Yeah, we could probably still win some games. Would we be as good? No, we would not be as good if we didn't have this dude on our crew. No, we would not.
Who are they better without, Showtime? I'm talking about the Timberwolves. Like, do they have a chance to compete?
They're not in first.
They don't compete without either one of them.
Right.
I don't think they do. But I don't think that they do. But they're definitely not in first place on that. They're definitely not in first place in the Western Conference if Rudy isn't on that crew. Definitely.
Yo, Chilltown, you brought up a word that resonated with me. You said Swiss Army knife. So now I gotta ask: if the NBA had an award called Mr. Swiss Army Knife, would Derek White be first place in that, or would you give it to somebody else?
So essentially, what you're asking is who's the most versatile player in the NBA?
Yeah, who does the most for their team all around? Like on any given night, he could lead us in assists. He could be one of our better rebounders. He could go out and score 30. He's gonna guard the other player. He's gonna basically makes us go. Like he might not be our engine, but he's the oil in our engine.
That sounds like Giannis Antetokounmpo right there. That's what that sounds like to me. That sound like Giannis.
Sound like Alperen Sengun.
Until you brought up defense, it sounded like Jokic.
I was about to say that too. He brought up defense.
Yeah, until you brought up defense, I was about to start pushing some Sengun propaganda. And I was like, but Alperen Sengun.
Yeah, I think it sounds like.
I do think you can say, like with guys like Derek White, you can acknowledge the value they have without then questioning if they have more value than the best player on the team. Because then you kind of open them up for scrutiny, which I don't think they deserve. I think we can acknowledge Derek White is tremendously valuable without trying to push him to maybe be more valuable than Jason Tatum. I just think I think we should all understand unanimously he's not more valuable than JT, but then also understand he's providing tremendous value, especially for how much he makes and his role on the team. I don't think you can find a more valuable fourth best player. I don't think you can find that.
But can't you say the same thing for Rudy Gobert?
Yeah, it would apply to Rudy Gobert. But although I would say I think Rudy Gobert has a stronger argument to be more valuable than Derek White does over Jason Tatum. Just from the fact that the Timberwolves have the best defense in the league and they have like the 19th, 18th best offense in the NBA. Now, I'm not saying Rudy's the only reason they're the best defense in the league. Of course not, because Ant's a great defender, J-Mac, and Rudy Gobert himself. But we can understand Rudy Gobert's value to anchoring that defense. His tremendous value as a rebounder, offensively and defensively. So has very good screens too. Like, he just provides a lot of great value to that team. And you could make the argument more strongly for him than you could for Derek White. Now, I'm fine with Anthony Edwards being the most valuable player on that team. But I think offensively, I think he gets maybe a bit too much credit for like the birds, and people think he's carrying when Karl Anthony Towns is right there next to him, having a hell of a season. And I'm like, it's not just Ant there offensively. Cat is doing a hell of a job offensively, and people seem to just be brushing past him because they don't believe in him in the playoffs. But I think Cat's having one of the better seasons of his career. So shout out to you, Cat. I like what you're doing.
Yo, we have an immediate super chat. 2 of them, actually. Honorable said, by this logic, why isn't Draymond more valuable than Curry?
At one point in time, that was an argument people would have. They would say Draymond is. I definitely, when it came down to the big three, who's more important, a lot of people would say Draymond's the most important because of everything else that he was doing for that team to get them going. Like, that was a conversation,
which is insane. But
Big odds. Big odds. We got to understand the difference between better player and more valuable.
I understand completely.
Okay. Scottie Pippen was not a better player than Michael Jordan. No, he was not.
Nor was he more valuable.
I'm not saying that he was more valuable neither. However,
do you fight the value
that Scottie Pippen brought to the Chicago Bulls, the burden that he took off of Jordan. The same logic goes for the Minnesota Timberwolves. You just brought it up, Mars, when you talked about defense. How much more aggressive am I on the wing when I got a guy like Rudy Gobert behind me to clean up my mess? How much more aggressive am I? How much more am I willing to go for steals? How much more am I willing to rebound when I got a big guy like Rudy Gobert that's man in the paint? When I got a guy like that, as opposed to somebody in the paint that doesn't really rebound like.
Yeah, but we talking about Steph and Draymond. That's like, this is not that.
Oh, I'm not. When you talk about Steph and Draymond, we're talking about a primary ball handler in Draymond, who facilitates the offense and does everything that he does. I mean, don't get me wrong. Steph is the better player, 100%. And what he brings offensively, I don't think that's a question. But I can't diminish how valuable Draymond is. I will not.
I'm not trying to.
I will not do that. No,
especially in those past days, especially from 16 to 19 or 15 to 18 or whatever. I'm not going to diminish how important Draymond Green is. Right. But I'm definitely not going to have the conversation that he was as important or more important than Steph Curry. I can't do it.
I'll happily put him number 2 on that team, though. Not with KD, but Steph, Clay, and Dre. He's number 2, in my opinion.
Masink OG and Mars, you're going to hear about that during the second half of the show. Something tells me I get a weird inclination. But Masink OG said, what is everybody's favorite obscure genre of a player? For me, shot blocking guards and playmaking bigs. Also, welcome back, fellas. Hope y'all are having a great New Year's.
Offensive rebounding wings.
I was going to say rebounding guards.
Yeah, that. Any small people or smaller people who rebound. So like Josh Hart, Tyrese, and Russell Westbrook. I know not Russell Westbrook for Donovan, but Russell Westbrook, like those type of people. Like if you smaller and you be crashing the glass, I like this.
Or dunking little man, like a little guy that can dunk. I'm talking like Spud Webb little, like anomaly, like, oh my God, this guy's really 5'7", but jumps out the gym. Those are my favorite guys too.
A big man that can make free throws. That's a big deal.
The fact that that's obscure is crazy.
I know it is because, a big man that can make free throws, that's a big deal. I mean, Rudy Gobert shoots 66% from the stripe.
Shout out to Joel Embiid, man.
What does Joel Embiid shoot? Something like 81% from the stripe? Something like that?
It has to be higher than that. I think last night he had a bad game from the free throw line. Let me look up. He's 88%.
So he's almost 90% from the stripe. I mean, a big guy that can shoot free throws, that's a big deal. That's a huge
Shaq
deal.
would have 30,000 points if he can make free throws.
I'm about to say, is this era of bigs the better shooting era of bigs from the free throw line?
From
better shooting in general, yeah, just better.
Just in general, on average?
Yeah.
Joker, Embiid, Anthony Davis, Cat,
Porzingis.
Bam, Porzingis, Sabonis. Yeah.
100%. Mars, I gotta rewind for a second. Joel shooting 88% isn't just crazy because he's just a big. It's crazy because he leads the league in scoring.
That's one of the main reasons why. How many
he leads the league in free throws made. He leads the league in free throws made.
How many free throws does he average a game?
He takes 12 and makes 10.5.
Like, think about that. A dude that averaging 35 a game, almost a third, 1 out of every 3 of my points is from the stripe.
Unethical.
So what you're trying to say, Damo, is Joel is the leader of the unethical department in the NBA?
Honestly, I mean, Joel Embiid.
He's not the leader.
Joel Embiid and James Harden are the faces of unethical basketball. In another 10 or 15 years, we're gonna have an era of kids who literally come up through the free throw line. They're like, "Yo, I averaged 50 in high school, and 25 was from free throws. I was inspired by Joel and James Harden. Unethical basketball, man."
Be clear, Mars. Don't forget, Mars. When y'all played Philly on, I believe it was Sunday. When y'all played Sunday, did y'all play Philly?
Monday.
Monday. Joel Embiid had 26. Just so you know, 11 of that 26 came from the strike.
I'm not against Embiid. I'm just saying, there's one person who be getting away, two people really, but one person in particular who be getting away with the fact that he be a free throw merchant, and it's because he don't average a lot of points. And it's Jimmy Butler. For like 4 years, he's averaged like 21 a game, and like 8 of them have been free throws. Like more than a third of his points have been from the free throw line, but because he don't average 30, he just be getting, everyone just lets him slide. A third of his points are free throws for like the last 5 years, and everyone just be letting him slide because he don't average 30. Jimmy Butler, I'm on to you, sir. You one of the leader in unethical buckets, but you just be letting him slide because he don't average 30.
Why is getting to the stripe unethical? I don't understand. I can't understand. Like I can understand.
Getting to the stripe is not unethical. Getting to the stripe is not unethical. I promise you, it's not. But putting up this false narrative around your scoring ability, and now you're being put in conversations with different guys who is like, I looked at that game last night. You go back and look. Jokic, 25 points, 3 made free throws. He was really out there getting buckets. Like the buckets he did get, it was quiet, but those was all his buckets, honestly. When you go back and look at some of these games, like I'm going to go look right now. Paul George had 38 last night. How much of those came from free throws? Because he led the game in scoring by a mile, I want to say. I want to say the next highest was J-Dub with 25. And just in totality of the game, not even on his team. Totality of the game, J-Dub was 25 on the other team. He definitely led his team. Paul George, 2 free throws. Ethical game. 38 making 2 free throws, 2 for 4 from the line. He was out there getting buckets.
But and that's what people 40 is what it sounds like.
Nah. It sounds like he was really, he only had 40. He shot 4 free throws. Okay, he should have had 40. He finished with 38. That's fine. Ethical buckets. All I'm saying.
But the best scorer is
foul. Come on, I seen Joel Embiid take jump shots last night and look at the ref like, I'm like, you're shooting a jump shot and it was hardly contested. Where was the foul? You're crying for every foul call?
Everyone.
Yeah, if I get fouled, I want the foul. I don't know what you're talking about.
I didn't see the foul.
Played through a little bit of contact
last night were ethical, other than like one where he drew a foul on MPJ. That's not a foul.
Nah.
He got an and-1. Embiid got an and-1 last night on
Aaron Gordon.
On Aaron Gordon when he got hit on the hand. The reason why these dudes look at the ref on every trip is because they ain't used to playing through contact. That's why. And by the way, Damo, the best scorers, Jordan, KD, James, Bryant, they average something like 9 free throws a game. So that's not like, it's not like these dudes is going to.
He might be the only one where he weren't really getting free throws. Jordan was. Oof. You want to talk about free? I'm not going to say free throw merchant. I'm not going to offend people. If you want to talk about someone who was getting to the line, there was plenty of getting to the line.
Fellas, hold on right quick. I got to read the super chat. I got something I got to say to that. I know Ox dude. Just hold on. We're gonna come right back to that conversation. Assad R said last night Nuggets should have played and beat straight up. Using AG messed up the Nuggets defense and switches, giving up way too many open threes. It's too different from their normal defense, and it showed.
They did the same thing last year, Mars, when they played Aaron Gordon on Joker. They played Aaron Gordon on Joel Embiid, and PJ Tucker was covering Joker last year. And Embiid goes for 48, and the logic is Embiid cooked Joker. When in reality, that wasn't even his. Even though it was his matchup, they didn't have him on him the majority of the game.
I just think it's the regular season. You trying to make postseason level adjustments. It's not going to be seamless. Now, if they played if somehow they met in the finals, I'm sure they would try something else, but they'd actually have worked on it more. Their rotations would be crisper. They'll be sharper. You won't give up as many open threes one pass away. But when you're doing it in the regular season, you don't have time to just solely focus on this game because you just come off a game 2 nights ago, and for Philly, they just came off a game the night before against us, back to back. Like you're not going to be seamless in how you're trying to execute. Because it's the regular season. That's why the playoffs is different, and that's why some people struggle to postseason adjustments.
Yeah, but still, it's the NBA where I just can't get with the roaming defender idea in the NBA. I don't think it works as well at this level of basketball as it does in lower levels of basketball, whether it be college, high school, AAU, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You could get away with that. In the NBA, I just don't believe that it's as effective as people think it is.
I think it works better.
That's fair.
Why does it work better, Mars? When you're talking about aroma, right? So when you're talking about an era, or not just an era, you're talking about a league where there's a legal defense. So roaming is at a premium because there's certain things that I can and can't do. Why is roaming better now than it is in college, where I can just be all over the place?
Because my theory is with how skilled the best offensive players in the league are, so Luka, Steph, Jokic, Embiid, no matter who you put on them, they are going to break down the defense and create an advantage. So if you have Jaden McDaniels on Luka Doncic, can he do a good job? Yes. But more often than not, Luka Doncic is going to get into the teeth of the defense, force the defense to collapse, force rotations, yada, yada, yada. Now, if you have an elite roamer, you anticipate the collapse of your defense, and he can cover up a lot of those mistakes because it's going to happen against these high-level NBA players because that's just how good they are. LeBron James is going to create an advantage. Steph Curry, KD, all of them, they're going to do it. Now, in college, why I think is different, you don't have that many high-level players who are going to create an advantage play after play. So man defense, in my opinion, is more important because if you have an elite point of attack defender on someone who isn't Luka Doncic, that can stifle the team's best offensive player because they don't have the all-world players that the NBA has. I don't think if you put an elite level point of attack defender on the best offensive players in the league, it's going to slow down the offense enough to where it's going to be impactful. But if you have an elite level roamer who can stop the bleeding on the actual fact that he's going to collapse your defense time after time, I think you can get away with it. Now, the ideal is having an elite point of attack defender and an elite roamer, but not many teams have that. But I think just in the NBA, I think it's more impactful to have someone who can cover up the inevitable mistakes than have someone who might make less mistakes on the ball, but still make a bunch of them anyway. I don't even think it's mistakes. I think just the great offense beats great defense. I think that's what it is. I don't want to call it mistakes. Great offense beats great defense. So if you have someone who can plug up the great offense beating the great defense, I think that you can do better than someone who doesn't get beat as much, but still gets beat 85% of the time.
What it sounds like is a roaming linebacker. So what I am is I'm a spy more than anything. I'm not going to stop the run. I'm not going to drop in coverage. I'm focused on the quarterback, and I'm focused on what this guy's doing. So I don't want him to run all over the place. But I'm still doing my job where I'm still going to stop the run. I'm still doing my job where I am going to drop in coverage from time to time. But for the most part, I'm keeping my eye on this guy, and I'm roaming around, and I'm not doing one thing specifically. That makes sense. I can get with that logic. Sure.
Yeah, and roaming isn't just being away from the ball. Like, you have to be there's a lot of people who be roaming and don't know what they're doing. Like, you have to be not just on time to rotate, you have to be early to rotations.
That's why I was asking you, Mars. Yeah, that reason right
not
there,
just roaming for the sake of roaming. Yeah.
Legal defenses in the NBA, stuff like that. That's why I was asking, because in the NBA, the rules are different. So I can't just sit in the paint and just watch the point guard, right? I can't just I'm on the weak side of the basketball. While I'm on the weak side of the basketball, I'm coming into the lane like you can do in college. No, I got a guy in Luka who, while I'm watching him and I'm not watching my man, he'll throw the ball right by my ear and he'll get the ball right to the guy in the paint. So that's why I was asking about because of the rule change, because of the rule difference.
And that's why for me, specifically when you got a guy that's a pretty decent passer, like if he's just a scorer, it's cool. But when you have a guy that's a pretty decent passer, I'm looking at ball pressure. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a very important part of defense, is me getting my hands active, making it hard for the person to pass the ball. So when you got somebody with the ball pressure, it makes more sense to me to not like blitzing, but send the double at certain spots. Like if he gets too deep when he turns his back, that's when we send the help from the weak side. We're sending help. We're digging. You know what I'm saying? We might not be doubling, but you know we're digging off him. And when you have the better defender, I feel like it just makes for an easier defense when you have guys that are, you know, more just you see so much lackadaisical defense. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if I'm playing on this weak side and I'm just being lackadaisical, then it's just we're gonna get broken down. So you gotta. I'm more with the man up. You get your man. We're gonna send you help because like Mars said, these guys are so skilled. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, if you just let them work, they're gonna get something off. So that's why I feel like we got to dig on them, or when they get to a certain spots, when certain spots on the court, we know, okay, now the help is coming. If he turns his back, we're sending the double from a different angle. Though, you know, to me, it's just, I think it's a little more effective.
So if Luka is backing down KCP, right? Luka's on the right side of the wing and he's backing down KCP, which he does, and he's on the right side of the wing and he's backing down KCP. And the double can't come from Luka's weak side because that's on the baseline. And that gives Luka way more vision to see everything. But we're coming right where Luka is. So I don't know. We're not going to double with MPJ. We're going to double with, let's say, Brown. We double with Brown. but we double hard, as opposed to we're going to double, but then we're not going to double. Because a guy like Luka, if you try to blitz him, I mean, he's going to see that coming. Right. He's going to see that coming, and immediately he's going to make an adjustment. So how do you handle that with him?
Right. That's what I'm saying. You just got to play up. You just got to play up. Man. You got to die. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You just got to die. But for instance, like the best example to me was Dirk Nowitzki. It was Dirk Nowitzki. It was like you can't send a double to Dirk because that's the Dirk double. That's 1-on-1. I'm not tripping off that. I'm shooting over the top of that. But I can't put my second best defender on him. In to Marshall's point, because I'll definitely subscribe to that way of thinking, where he's going to cook him anyway. I might as well let my best defender guard their second best player, and maybe we'll shut him down. You know what I'm saying? So it depends. Like with a guy like Dirk, I'm not really sending no double at you, but I have to put my best defender on you to try to slow him down. You know what I mean? So it's when you got, and that's two guys on from the Mavericks. You know what I'm saying? Like Dirk, Luka, these guys are so skilled offensively. We got to do something, but I'm not going to put my second best or third best defender on him. No way.
Yeah, but I've always, this is like a philosophical question. Sometimes I'll just be bored and be thinking about things in my own mind, just about how I feel about basketball. So inner workings of Mars' mind here. I was thinking, because I think most of us agree, if a player draws a double, they've created an advantage for their team in some way or another, if they're able to capitalize it. But if there's a scorer who's so great, like Dirk, for example, who we acknowledge even over a double team, it's more than likely he's probably going to score anyway. So you don't want to waste resources double teaming someone that's futile. But KD kind of applies in this way as well. But are them being so great at scoring that they don't force the extra attention? Does that then in turn make them less effective than someone who they feel can be more successful being doubled? For example, Steph Curry, where teams are going to blitz him to get the ball out of his hands, and it creates an elite offense for other people. But if he weren't being doubled, he wouldn't create the 4s on 3s, blah, blah, blah. So is him being so great at scoring that he doesn't draw doubles because teams are like, there's no point us doubling him, then creating less for his teammates? Is that then hurting his overall value compared to someone who they feel is worthwhile doubling, but he's not as good as the other guy? Does that make sense? Am I explaining it?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I think that's more about efficiency. If that guy can score efficiently, then I think he's cooking that defense. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm fine with that. But if you're just a chucker that you're depending on shooting a lot of shots instead of just being efficient with the shots that you get, then in that case I'd agree with you and say that you're actually being a hindrance to your team.
Like when Steph and KD played together, because that's what really I was thinking about. Like, because I'm a big practitioner. Steph was drawing the main defensive attention. Teams were trying to stop Steph, not trying to stop KD. But were they trying to stop Steph because they think Steph is better than KD? Or were they selling out to stop Steph because they knew they couldn't stop KD? So why waste the reason? So like I've been thinking about it because everyone knows I'm like Steph is better than KD. Even when they were both on the Warriors, Steph was better because Tyronn Lue said we were selling out to stop Steph even when KD was on the court. But maybe they were selling out to stop Steph because they were like, Steph's smaller, he struggles with double teams more. You can maybe slow him down more than KD with a double team. You can shoot right over the top. Maybe it's not because Steph's better. Maybe it's because we think we have more of a chance of stopping Steph with a double team than stopping KD with a double team.
I'm 100% sure that was the case, Mars.
And on top of and to your point, Mars, how much more chaos does he cause? I would rather I'll eat a 3-pointer from Durant more than I will from Curry when I'm double teaming him, because Curry is all over the place. And what he's going to do is he's going to scramble my defense. So in addition to me doubling him, I'm doubling him all over the place. So now not only am I going to leave Curry, not only am I going to leave Durant open, I'm also going to leave Klay Thompson open. I'm going to leave other guys open for layups and things like that. That's going to completely scramble my defense, as opposed to if I can just stay committed to Curry as much as I possibly can and maybe double KD, and I can get I'll eat buckets from KD as opposed to Curry, because he's going to scramble my defense and we'll be all over the place.
Yo, fellas, it's a good time to go ahead and tell everybody, go check out www.playerschoicemerch.com. Go grab you some good merch. It's a new year. Should get you some new merch. Also, as you can see, it's a couple new things that we got going on right now. $25 super chats to change the topic. So if you got tired of us talking about Joel Embiid and Jokic, if you wanted us to talk about, I don't know, Bruce Bowen versus Ron Artest, that's a good topic, by the way, we would have changed it to that. So go ahead and be aware of that. Also, $10 super chats to answer your question right now. We're doing that. That's what we on right now. Send through a $10 super chat. We got you. Also, tonight on Playback, we will be watching a game. You guys be sure to tap in. If I'm not mistaken, the game that we're watching, hold on, let me dig this up. What game we watching tonight? Oh, the Mavs and the Lakers at 8:30 Eastern time. That's what we'll be watching on Playback. So y'all be sure to come check us out. Go over there. The last one we did on Monday, it was elite. This one is gonna be elite. All right, y'all. You see the title of the show: New Year's resolutions. Chat. We all got New Year's resolutions and expectations for players, expectations for teams, expectations for, I don't know, coaches, referees, everybody. But I want to hear from you guys. Who are the players that you guys need this year to ball out or to just live up to the expectations that you have for them? It could be a player, it could be a team, it could be a coach, it could be a combination of guys. It could be the Suns' big three, for instance. But I got to hear from you guys. Damo, I got to ask you first. What are your New Year's resolutions?
Man, for me, I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm giving up on loser basketball, man. I'm gonna just let these loser teams just remain at the bottom. You know, just enjoy them in silence. I've learned my lesson.
You out, Damo?
I'm not out. I'm just not gonna I'm not gonna just throw everybody. I'm not gonna throw all the young teams in everybody's face, man. I'm not gonna do that. Another one I'm gonna have this year. Hey man, I'm gonna stop blaming everything on Darvin Ham. It's not all Ham's fault.
Not
man.
Everything is his fault, Damo. Not everything.
Darvin,
God
man.
damn, Damo.
It's not on Darvin, man.
Man,
it's not all on Darvin. Don't get me wrong. I can still put some blame on Darvin, but it's whole front office, the whole coaching staff. Everyone gets blamed until I know what's going on because I'm not in the locker room. I'm not in the meetings. I'm not in the lineup management meeting. I'm not none of that. I don't know what's going on. So I can't sit here and with a good conscience and good faith just blame the lump when I genuinely don't know. It could be all Rob Pelinka fault for all I know. So until the documentary come out, man, I'm blaming everybody equally on that coaching staff and in the front office, not just the lump, man.
So what you're trying to tell me is you don't have a personal vendetta against the lump anymore?
Listen, man, if I see the lump, I'll hug it. I'll hug the lump if I see it, man. I'll hug the lump. Give a little shine, you know.
Ron, that's growth, brother.
It's not all. Hey, next Laker game I go to, I'm gonna sit there with my hands in my pockets the whole time in solidarity. Let's all put our hands in our pockets.
Ron, we went from terrorists to actually giving you a pound and hugging you and accepting you now. That's growth, brother. I think we moved on. I do.
That's crazy. I didn't know a New Year's resolution could do that. It can turn you from Osama bin Laden to Gandhi. I'm proud of you. That's March. He said he's gonna hug the lump.
We all got some. Never mind. No, let me leave Gandhi alone. Let me leave Gandhi alone. Just keep it moving.
All right. Well, you got the floor now, Ox.
Who, me?
Let's hear your New Year's resolutions.
I ain't even want to do this, Ron.
Why not?
Because I realized like I'm being a hindrance to myself and the love for basketball. I feel like my outlook on basketball now is actually hindering the love for basketball that I have. So I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna cut it out, and I'm gonna just embrace. I'm just gonna embrace what basketball is. My New Year's resolution is to love players that don't play defense. Yeah.
Just going against all your beliefs is crazy, but
how did you get to this? I want to know what.
Because
I didn't expect this either today, Chad.
I love hoop, Ryan. You know I love hoop, but I'll just and you know what? Another thing, because there wasn't just that. I'm gonna also love basketball when the ball doesn't touch the paint. When people give up wide open, when people give up wide open layups to get to a contested three in transition, I'm gonna clap for that. I'm gonna clap for contested threes in transition instead of wide open layups. I'm embracing 2020s. It's the 2020s. I'm embracing what basketball is becoming, bro.
He's embracing bad basketball, is what he's saying.
Ox is killing me over here. Ox, you just took some years off my life with that one, brother. You did.
So you can't do it.
God. Oh my God.
I got you, Chitchat. I want to love basketball again. I want to pretend like it's. I want to pretend like it's 2007 again. You know.
You sound like that. You sound like that dude. I love you. If you only smoke crack once a week instead of every day, I'm gonna resign myself to the fact that you're a crackhead. As long as you just cut down on it, I can't. No,
we ration the crack. It's crack.
That's exactly what we doing, Big Ox. That's what we doing right now. I can't, yo. I can't. No, I can't do it.
Ox, do you have anything else? Was that it for the most part?
I mean, yeah. What else is there? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to change them. I want to change myself. I'm gonna look myself in the mirror and become a better basketball analyzer or whatever you call this. Now
that's really big of you. That's really big of you. That's really big of you because a lot of people in your situation they wouldn't realize they're the problem. They'll just keep blaming the game.
Damo and Ox taking big steps in 2024. Major growth on the panel. Well, half the panel, so a fraction of the panel so far. Let's keep it moving. Let's see if everybody else is growing this year. Chilltown, are you rationing anything?
Yeah, I got to accept what the league guard is today. John Stockton, just like I accept the fact that Shaq and Olajuwon and David Robinson, as much as I miss those guys, they're gone and they're not coming back. So I got to do the same thing and accept the fact that Stockton, Magic, Isaiah, Chris Paul, those guys are gone. And I got to accept what the league guard is today. And he's more of a scorer, less of a distributor. And that's what the game is today. I do have to accept that. Unfortunately, it's going to take some time, but I got the whole year. So it's not like I got to do it in a week. I have the whole year to accept this. And Julius Randle got to play better in the playoffs, man. Big fella, come on, big fella. You got to play better in the playoffs. Come on, you the difference in the reason. You the difference why y'all not winning in the playoffs. You are. You play better, you guys win. You, Julius Randle, you got to play better in the playoffs, B. You.
That's your resolution.
You got to play better in the playoffs. You do. Yes. Yes.
That's the first one.
Damo, how we gonna have a dude? How we gonna have a dude who is that good, who's an all-pro, who basically goes in the tank in the playoffs? Who goes from this to this? I have never seen that in my life from an all-pro. In all the years I've been watching basketball, I have never seen an all-pro consistently in the playoffs go from this to this. No.
I agree. I just didn't know that could be your resolution.
Yes, man. When, you know how I feel about the all-pro, Damo? You know how I feel about accolades in the all-pro. And when you are all-pro, you are held to a different standard. You're not just a good player. You are the best of the best. And when you're the best of the best, you have to play like that, especially when it's especially when it means your team winning and losing. And I'm not a Knicks fan, but I'll be damned if I watch the New York Knicks get the number 4 seed or the number 3 seed and flame out in the first round of the playoffs because their best players suck. You got to play better, B. You have to.
Quick question, Chill Tom, on your resolution. Would you have thought 20 years ago, would you have thought that the league guard in the NBA would turn into a bunch of Allen Iversons and Gilbert Arenas 20 years ago? Like thinking league guard, would you have thought out of everybody I'm watching in this game in 04, AI and Gilbert Arenas is the face of the future? Would you have thought that?
No, absolutely not. You could not have sold me that.
But Damo, you got to remember though, these guards, that's what they grew up on though.
That's a fact. That's factually true.
You know what I'm saying? Our AAU coaches start letting us wear extra large shorts when we was 5'2". You know what I'm saying? Start letting us walk up the court doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? Our AAU coaches was all for that. So like, shit, come on, let's play ball then.
Mars, before we get to you, Tito El Bandito said y'all's fantasy starting fives, but cannot include Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, or Jalen Green.
You see the company Jalen Green's in? Interesting.
Elite company.
Yeah, exactly. Hey,
My fantasy starting 5, none of them will be in it anyway.
So what's your fantasy starting 5?
What?
Well, I'm just saying, like those are some of those are like the best players, but like, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about like, you put.
All right, well, this is easy for me. I mean, it's easy for me. I'm gonna go Steph. Ain't that
what a fantasy is, though? Oh, you talking about today? I'm sorry.
Oh, this is all time, right?
All time. It has Jordan, Kobe.
So, I'm about to say all time, and without those guys, I would still go. Give me Steph, Tracy McGrady, Larry Bird, Tim Duncan, Shaq.
Spitting, Damo. That was fire. That was fire, Damo. That was fire. I'll go J Kidd. I'm gonna go small though. So I'll go J Kidd, T Mac, Paul Pierce, Scottie Pippen, and KG. That'd be fire.
Y'all dudes be talking about me with Jason Tatum. I'm telling y'all right now, Ox is gonna die on that Scottie Pippen and KG hill. He's dying on it. I want to make sure we clear on that. Ox is gonna die on that hill. Oh.
Mars, chill. You guys got a starting 5?
Who we can't who was it again? No
Jordan, Kobe, or LeBron, or Jalen
no Jay, no Kobe, no LeBron, no Jordan. So because of the New Year's resolution, I gotta accept. No, I don't have to accept that because I still think Magic is the best league guard ever. So Magic, Drex, Scottie Pippen, Tim Duncan, Chamberlain.
Fire. All right, we got one more from Culture Sonder. Culture Sonder said, talk about the Kings.
What about Mars?
That's cool. That's fine.
Mars ain't sitting right here, huh?
It's a new year, Mars.
He replaced me with Ox. That's cool.
Well, yeah, that is the case. I hate that the cat's out the bag this soon, but I figured this since you can't use Jalen Green, it was, you want to do it without Jalen Green? I thought they did you a disservice. I didn't think he had it.
I was gonna troll with my answer, so it's good. That was actually my New Year's resolution was to not troll as much, and then I saw that question. I was like,
he can't do it. Mars can't do it.
Your hands just doing this other thing.
My New Year's resolution was legitimately like to try troll less. Like I wanna give the people been complaining, oh Mars, what happened to the real basketball tour? You troll too much. I was like, yeah, I'm trying to stop trolling. Then that question came out, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna troll. So
can't do it.
Mars already crazy.
Mars, today, January the 17th, 2024. I challenge you not to troll for the rest of the year. Challenge you.
Get your last troll off
for the rest of the year.
I'm gonna say, wait, he can't troll at all.
That's crazy. Minimal troll. One week.
What is a New Year's resolution? A New Year's resolution. I want to lose weight. I don't want to lose 20 pounds to put 20 pounds back on.
I can ration. The same
I feel you.
I just ration it.
Ration troll and crack.
Yeah, exactly. It's basically the same thing. Trolling is like crap to me. So basically, it's the same thing. Once a week, and we're good. Yeah, once a week.
This is a prime example just now. See how big Mars' eyes got when he saw that question? Here we go.
Yeah, I'll troll once a week. And then that's it. I think that's a good step to the New Year's resolution. Maybe
Mars,
2025.
It's only Wednesday. Are you ready to get this off right now? You
still got
2 more
days. Midway through the week. I think
Mars,
that's fine.
if trolls crack to you, I'm just saying at the end of Thursday's episode, you're gonna be,
maybe I'll
fail the New Year's resolution. You know how many people sign up for the gym and then don't go after January? It happens. So maybe I'll fail, but we'll see. But my starting 5. Speaking of crack, Michael Ray Richardson at the 1, David Thompson at the 2, Lamar Odom at the 3.
This is trolling. This is what we're talking about.
Roy Tarpley at the 5. That's my fantasy starting 5. There we go.
I knew where he was going after the second name. I realized where he was going after the second name.
That's fucking insane. Yo, bro, kick him. Bro.
For what?
Yo,
we're supposed to be rationing crack.
You can't handle it. I tell you.
Wait,
yeah, no, putting up 5.
No Spencer Haywood on the list?
No Spencer Haywood is crazy.
Let him buy him some Hooper. I have to put him in there. Spencer Haywood off the bench.
And by the way, Spencer Haywood actually played longer. Roy Topley got kicked out the league. Spencer Haywood didn't get kicked out the league. Michael Ray Richardson got kicked out. Michael Ray Richardson got kicked out the league. So that he got kicked out the league. Michael Ray Richardson got kicked out the league. So
that's the point.
Do you know how cold of a hooper you had to be? I'm sorry. Let me just.
Roy Topley.
I want to hear this. Damo, go ahead, Damo. Please finish this. I want to hear that.
You know how hard of a hooper you gotta be to have a drug addiction and still give buckets?
And still be nice.
Exactly. Roy Topley was tough. People don't know about Roy Topley. He was averaging 20, got kicked out, came back, and then said, "Nah, I need the crack." Got kicked out again. Like that's why he's the MVP of the team. Shout out to Roy Topley.
Michael Ray Richardson was an all-star, yo.
Hey, man. I like my fantasy style. I like my fantasy style.
Jeez.
But there we go. No more trolling for the rest of the week. There you go.
Talk about I gotta go use the bathroom right quick. I'll be back, Coach. Coach, I'm coming right back. I swear I'll be right back. And going to the bathroom, you know what?
Energy boost. Yeah, energy boost.
Come back with your jaw.
All right, so Culture Sutter with the super chat said, talk about the Kings giving it up to the Suns. No pause.
You guys were up 20, right? You guys were up
20, 22. Shit, wasn't no you guys.
In the fourth.
I don't play on that. I don't play on that damn team.
Interesting.
That was 100% De'Aaron, and I had people message me talking about what is Mike Brown doing. Mike Brown wasn't doing nothing but trying to teach his team how to actually get some respect as a contender. This team will never get respect as a team, a contender, unless De'Aaron Fox decides to stop being a crybaby and be a leader. We don't got no time to be crying. We don't got no time for you to be watching Malik chuck shots like he thinks he's Kobe Bryant. That shit is cool, but when it starts to be detrimental, De'Aaron, you have to go get the ball. You have to slow the ball down, run your sets, get stops, and protect the basketball. You can't be throwing away the basketball, getting turnovers. You know what I'm saying? You have to be a leader, De'Aaron. Stop being a crybaby and be a leader. Simple.
Make
free throws. That's how come Dame put that one in this, because you can't make no damn free throws, De'Aaron. You know what I'm saying? So it's not Mike Brown's fault. Y'all was up 22 and with 8 minutes left in the game, you have to win that game. He shouldn't have to call timeouts. This is to teach you guys how to win basketball games, how to compete with the better teams in the NBA. We had the Bucks and the Suns on the ropes, and they came back and took it from us. And on both occasions, I can point out where De'Aaron Fox is at fault. That's not Mike Brown's fault. We got to win that basketball game, especially last night. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, kind of how Ox said, the Suns were down 22, and then the score was 113-96, and then they closed the game on a 23-4 run. Durant, I wasn't actually watching the game, but I've seen a couple clips of Durant absolutely just turning it up on defense. He started guarding DeMontis.
He played the 5. He played the 5.
Is that a mean adjustment?
That's what I was going to give KD. I wanted to talk about his team. My credit was going entirely to KD. What he did defensively in the fourth. He wasn't scoring well at all the whole game. But in the fourth, he played the 5. All of a sudden, he turns into the most versatile, switchable defender we've ever seen, and then starts scoring like Kevin Durant. So I wanted to give KD credit. That's what I wanted.
He deserves it. He deserves it.
Because if KD can play defense like that consistently.
Yeah, but Mars, you're right. KD deserves that praise. He deserves that praise. But that shouldn't be enough. Like they still got to pull it out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you still got to win.
Focus, Damo. Focus, Damo.
I'm sorry. Like you still got to win that game.
New year, old habits. Huh?
Like Kevin Durant definitely did his thing with that, but. I mean, and then there was people saying that maybe we should have went small, you know. That's a great advantage I think we have, having Trey Lyles on that bench. Could have put Trey Lyles in there, but that wouldn't have changed anything. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to win the basketball game. It's simple as that. Kevin Durant did his thing, but yeah. Whatever.
With that being said, Mars, why am I out of line?
But DeMontis needs to ask for a trade. He's too good for this shit. He's too good for this shit. DeMontis needs to get up out of Sacramento. He's too good to be on this damn team.
If he wants. We need a backup big.
Come on, bro.
I personally think Harrison Barnes should ask for a trade. He's the only champion on the roster. He should be like, I'm not dealing with this inadequate play and mediocre.
Just JaVale McGee and Juan Toscano just aren't on the team, right, Ron? Interesting.
I mean, Juan might as well not be on the bench. I disrespected.
Well, they're champions, Ron. They're champions. That's what he said.
Yeah, champions. What on the same team?
That's what I'm saying. Juan might as well not be on the team. I didn't.
Wait, so what would y'all want for the? What would you be okay with for giving up for Sabonis? So like trade Sabonis for what, in your opinion?
Well, this is my thing, Damo. I've been a loyal diehard Kings fan since I was about 6-7 years old. Loyal. Now look. If Domantas Sabonis gets traded, that shit's done. I'm out of here.
You out.
I'm out of here. I'm out of here. So there ain't no what would we want, Damo. Whatever the hell they take, I'm going with Domantas.
Wait. You've been a lifelong King fan.
Domantas Sabonis is the straw that broke the camel's back.
You're going to ride or die with Domantas?
Who he just said should ask for a trade, by the way.
Yeah, deserves to be on a better team. So literally, you went into the season a Kings fan, and you're about to walk out a Sabonis stan?
I'm fine with that.
Oh my God.
Hey man, he did say he was. He did say he was appreciating the game what it is today. He said he was adapted to what the game is today. Stan culture, I feel it.
I'm sick of this shit, Damo. I'm sick of this shit.
I'm not even mad at you.
My question to you, Big Ox, is why instead of burning down the house, right? Instead of breaking all the windows, how about the people that's living in the house, clean this shit up? How about that? Instead of, okay, this is how you guys are acting. I'm going to break all the windows in the house. I'm going to light the house on fire. How about we just, clean your room up, clean the kitchen up. This isn't good enough. How about that for an idea? Like you just said, De'Aaron Fox, take care of the basketball. Make free throws. That game against Milwaukee, that was a winnable game. You got downhill every chance you possibly could have gotten. De'Aaron Fox gets to the stripe. He makes those 2 free throws. That ices the game. Game is iced. We're not going to take Monk off the hook neither because he also missed free throws. That's also a big deal. But I'm not ready to just throw these. I'm not ready to hand over Sabonis. That's an emotional decision, Big Ox. I'm emotional. Okay, and I'm trying to talk you off the ledge right now, Big Ox, because I don't want you to jump. I don't want you to burn the house down. This is a very nice house. We don't need to burn the house down. How about this? How about you get these badass kids up and make them go clean these rooms? How about that? Right? How about you go ahead. I'm sorry.
This the thing, Chitchat. So this all started in 2006, 2007. And I was a little upset then, like, damn, we sucked down. You know what I'm saying? But around 2010, I was chasing my own hoop dream. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I don't got time to worry about that. And plus, I'm accepting the fact that we suck. That lasted for a decade. I was like, golly. But I'm like, okay, whatever. We suck. I love basketball. I'm a Kings fan. No big deal. But we're good now. So now that we're good, I got hope. You know what I'm saying? And then I see this. We lose to the Bucks and the Suns, 2 of the better teams. Those are the games we have to win to make an impression on the league. We're not going to get no respect when people looking like, oh, you lost in. But if we win, if those 2 games on the record said that we win, we're getting a little more respect from everybody else. I'm like, I didn't care. I didn't care back in 2016. Like, I don't care if we losing and we suck anyway. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go to the game. I'll be, But now, when we're good, and I'm thinking we're supposed to do something, and now we just do stuff like this, it's heartbreaking.
Y'all only been good for 2 years. This is only our second year being good.
No, we was good the year before that too, Damo. It just didn't show. It just didn't show. For now, we was good.
So Big Ox, we've been living in the projects for the last 15 years. We've moved out. Now we got a better place.
And we still got rats.
Okay, so instead of getting the rats out the house, right? So instead of getting the rats out the house, you want to burn the house down and go back to the projects?
Shit,
he's not gonna be in the project with them. That's what he's saying.
That's all my business in them at.
We're not doing that, Big Ox.
He's just moving and they just stay with the rats. That's what he's saying.
Let's do that. Let's get the rats up out of here. We're not going back there. No. We got to clean out.
See, this is why you can't give bad franchises anything good. He got a taste. He got a taste of success, and he's ready to throw it all away halfway through the second year.
How do you think people get addicted to rats?
Oh my god! He been eating fast food his whole life. He got a taste of gourmet food. Nah, man, I can't. How could you put another Big Mac on my plate? Relax, man.
He want to flip the table over, Damo.
Nah,
He want to flip the table with all the steak.
I'm bougie now, Damo. I'm bougie now.
He want to flip the table over and get rid of all of it and go back to eating in Chick-fil-A. He want to go back to that.
I'm a grown man. How you gonna put some chicken nuggets on my plate? It's crazy.
At least you got some fire dipping sauce. Like at least you got some heat, you know. Hey, but with that being said, I want to come back to the Suns though. Kevin Durant playing the 5. Is this something that can be successful for the Suns moving forward? Could this be a tipping scale?
Depending on the matchup. Which I'm not gonna lie, in the West, the better teams in the West, I mean, I'd be damned they put KD on Jokic. I mean, I don't know how. I mean, I will put KD on Rudy Gobert. I mean, it's Rudy Gobert on offense. Got to watch a screen and watch an alley-oop, but I would feel comfortable with that matchup. KD on Chat. Are we comfortable with KD on Chat? I'm about to say I'm comfortable with KD on Chat. I don't necessarily know how KD on AD is going to look. Not saying that the Lakers are just a top-seeded team in the West. I'm just thinking of teams with good bigs potentially be in the playoffs. Trying to think. For the most part, yes. For the most part, I think I would be okay with KD.
I don't know. I think that was just one of those kind of. I think that was just one of those kind of surprise adjustments. Kind of caught him off guard, and maybe Mike Brown thought that that Vogel was going to switch it back or something, and Vogel just rocked with it. But I'm with Damo though. There's a few. It's about half and half with the matches I'm looking at. I'm thinking KD, but I don't know. Yeah, I think it could work out with some matchups.
He can't play 5 against the Clippers though. Somebody brought it up. Now he against Big Zoo.
Or Denver.
But he's not doing it for 30 minutes though. Like they're not gonna start.
That's fair.
Like, it'll be spot minutes, man. Maybe Mason Plumlee's in the game. You want to run KD at the 5? Sure. Or maybe Jokic is on the bench. DeAndre Jordan. Sure. Like it's like those type of situations. It'll be situational. It's just a nice little value add that you have someone like KD who can play the 5 and really strain defenses. And also if he's moving like that defensively, like even if it's for 8 minutes a game at the 5, if he's moving like that defensively, that's a game changer.
I don't now with that. Just to nitpick real quick, Marsh. Just to nitpick real quick. Now I know Mason Plumlee's not great. He's not the best big, but he's still a beast though. Like I don't really want KD down there banging with Mason. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's not just defensively. I mean, you got Mason Plumlee out there with KD on offense now. Like that's the mismatch problem you have when you have KD at the 5. And I think like if DeAndre Jordan magically gets on the court in the playoffs and the Suns run KD at the 5 in minutes where DeAndre Jordan's on the floor, DeAndre Jordan will be off the court in 1 possession because there's no use for him being out there at that point. So how do you now give Jokic rest? Now you have to run Aaron Gordon at the 5. Like he's just going to be a mismatch problem in that regard on that side of the ball. And then also if he can move his feet defensively, he can switch pick and rolls or he can play a great drop because he's got a 7'5" wingspan or he can hedge and do whatever he needs to. Like he provides.
I think that's Swiss the best way right there. What you just said, Mark. I think that's the best. Like if they were to do that with the Nuggets, then you just got to rock with Aaron Gordon.
Well, he played the 5 last.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
If I'm not mistaken, KD did play some 5 last year in Brooklyn. He was one of the better rim protectors in the game last year when he played the 5. One of the better shot blockers in the game when he played the 5. Which leads me to my next point. Why wasn't KD a better defender throughout his career? Because it's obvious that he could defend. He could obviously defend at an elite level. So let's rewind KD 6-7 years ago, 7-8 years ago. Why wasn't KD playing at an all-league defensive level more consistently? Because it's obvious that he could do it. It's obvious that he could play at that level. And I don't necessarily mean that you have to be an all-league defender all the time. But why wasn't he playing at that level more regularly?
Because the old me, 2023 version of me, would say, would probably say, well, I don't know. I can't even think with that mindset anymore. But the new me, my answer to that is because he was so good on offense. He didn't need to play defense. Yes.
My answer is a bit different. I think it's a combination of a couple of things. I think going to Golden State, he got smarter. I think he just started to understand the game more, especially on the defensive end. I'll give Mike Brown credit for that as a defensive coach. I think he got smarter on that end of the floor. Just his rotations were a lot better in Golden State. It was also easier for him with Draymond Green, kind of, I guess, guiding him through things defensively. And then the other thing, which I think is just how the league's changed, the league's gotten smaller. KD before was at the 3, had to guard on the perimeter a bit more, and players were naturally bigger and stronger, and KD struggles with physicality and strength. Now the league's getting smaller. Now you can run KD at the 5. Back 7-8 years ago, you couldn't do that. KD at the 5 is a mismatch because you have Greg Monroe's in the league and Al Jefferson's and Zach Randolph. So like those players, they don't exist as much. So if KD sizes up and now he's playing the 4 like all the time and he can play 5 minutes, it makes it easier for him to be a help side rim protector because he's not having to rotate from further away and he's not on the perimeter as much. So now when he can switch on the perimeter for a 7-footer, it's better than when he's being asked to primarily be on the perimeter,
right? Which
he was 8 years ago. So I think the game changing alongside him being smarter has made him peak defensively later in his career, which is very rare. Not many people peak defensively later on. So he's one of the few exceptions to that. But I think the game changed and he got smarter, which is why he's playing at a high level defensively.
Well, on the flip side to that, he did play on a great defensive team when he was in Oklahoma City, and he also had a really good big in Ibaka. So I think that they had good schemes. With them having good schemes, I thought that he could be better defensively, even be a better rebounder. That's one of the things that I didn't understand about him, because I do understand that Mike Brown was one of the better defensive-minded coaches. I don't think that Tibbs was that much better than him in terms of a defensive-minded coach. I think he was a really good defensive-minded coach. But also, when he was in Oklahoma City, they had damn good schemes. So I look at Kevin Durant in Oklahoma City thinking to myself, well, why couldn't he play at an all-league defensive level more than he did when he was in Golden State? Because he was younger, he was livelier, he was more athletic. With that being, I know that when you're playing in Golden State, the game looks a little bit different. I'm a little smarter. I've been in the league a little bit longer, so I do get that logic. However, when you are that good and you've shown that you can play defense at a high level, I expect that on a consistent basis. I appreciate, Mars, the fact that the league is smaller, so I am more switchable. I am more switchable in playing the 5 because the league is smaller. But I don't think that explains that. When I was playing the 3, when I was playing the 4, I could be still elite at that time. I might not be able to play at the 5, but I still could be elite more consistently. And why wasn't he? Because he played on some really good defensive teams.
Well, Chitchat, I'm looking back and thinking about it. Now I got the best memory, but maybe KD was maybe not elite, but maybe he was a better defender than we're giving him credit for, because like y'all just brought up, I mean, when he was over there with Tabo, I think Jim Moore Water said in the chat, Tabo, Andre Robinson, and then you brought up Serge Ibaka, and then even when Kendrick was on the team, he was there at the 5, holding down the 4, being the big. So
Steven Adams,
they had a lot of good defenders on those teams. I'm thinking maybe KD was actually playing pretty good defense. He just wasn't guarding anybody that made us really pay attention to it. You know what I'm saying? Because he never had those matchups. When he got over to Golden State, Andre Iguodala was kind of slowing down a bit. He had to step up a little more to help out with that. I think it just showed. I think maybe it showed. Now I can't say that that's for sure, but I'm just thinking. They had more. I think they had better individual defenders over in OKC, to where he really didn't get a chance to show what he could do.
I think that him playing defense on the wing more than anything, with guys like Robeson, who was an all-league defender, right? With rim protectors behind him like Ibaka and Steven Adams. Sure, that might have hindered him rebounding a little bit, but I don't think that his ability to defend on ball, I don't think that suffered. I just feel like KD playing on the team that he played on, because it didn't have a problem. I mean, it didn't bother guys like James. It didn't bother guys like Scottie Pippen. It didn't bother the elite defenders who, when they played on great defensive teams, their ability to defend, it was evident. I don't think that KD being the great scorer that he is, I wouldn't use that as an excuse for him not defending at a high level, because it's obvious that he could do it. It was obvious that he could do it. I feel like he should have done it more.
Yeah, but I think, to, I guess, play devil's advocate, KD was in OKC for what, 8 years, 7 years, 8 years?
9 seasons.
9 years. So
from 07 to 16.
So 9 years. I think he was a good defender in 16. 15, he was hurt. But I think he was a good defender in 16. but we can, if you disagree, that's fine. So I'll say for 9 years, he wasn't a great defender, but early on in a lot of people's career, like, for example, LeBron James, he didn't become a great defender until year 6. Really, like 03, his rookie year, he wasn't great. Next year, he wasn't great. 08, you could say he was becoming a good defender, but 09 is when he really ascended and became an all-league caliber defender. So that's already 6 years. If we go KD 6 years, that's what, 2014-ish, his MVP year. So that's an extra 2 years in OKC where he was healthy, 14 and 16. If I think he was good in 16, 14, if you want to say he wasn't great, he's what, 1 year behind schedule in terms of what LeBron James was defensively. I don't think we say, why wasn't LeBron James a good defender in 06? Like, I think sometimes, like, you just have to learn the game. The NBA game is different to what it was in college. He was a great rebounder in college. I'll never understand why the rebounds, and I'm with you. I've never understood why KD's not a tremendous rebounder.
He had a bunch of 15 rebound games. But if you rewind, James made the all-league defensive team in 08. That was the first time he did. That was in year 5.
So that was justified, but if he made it, sure.
But he was playing at that level. When I think about KD when he first came into the league as an elite rebounder, when he was at Texas, I saw plenty of games where he would have 15 rebounds, 12 rebounds. He was doing stuff like that. So to come into the league and again, Steven Adams wasn't there right from the beginning. Serge Ibaka wasn't there right from the beginning. So these dudes wasn't there from the beginning. With that being said, KD, I don't think that him playing at an all-league, an all-NBA defensive level, I don't think that that's the case, him making the team as opposed to him playing at that level. I think he finished in the top 10 in Defensive Player of the Year one time. I think that was when he was with the Warriors. And I like to think that those teams that he was in Oklahoma City, I think those teams were better defensively, which should have enhanced him defensively. I think he should have been better.
Y'all, so I got this super chat. We got Ticket in here too, so we definitely finna turn up for the second half of this show. What's going on, Ticket?
Man, you already know I lead the league in every statistical category, and my interviews is holla.
You lead the league in turnovers? That's tough.
But that don't matter when you get the most buckets and the most rebounds and the most assists.
You right.
And the most steals.
You right.
The best player in the league, Ticket.
Blocks too.
Was there any question?
All right, y'all. DSG Piccolo chimed in with a super chat. He said, with the Raptors coach and Mike Brown both going at the refs in press conferences, will that be a regular occurrence now? Also, how far do the Pacers get with Pascal Siakam? Haven't talked about that trade yet, but let's answer the first question. How do y'all feel about these coaches calling out the refs in press conferences? You guys seen the whole Mike Brown thing. He brought the laptop up there, was pointing at the screen and everything. How do we feel about that?
If they want to be fined,
it's necessary.
If they want to pay the fine, yeah.
Costing 50 stacks. Mm-hmm.
No, sure.
Look, if for Mike Brown, what he did, if he gets fined for that, I'm telling De'Aaron, you pay that fine, because if you're making free throws, we wouldn't have to do this shit.
Hey, Ops, that ain't no nonsense, Ops. That's not no nonsense. For real. Like, we wouldn't have had this conversation if we wouldn't have had this conversation if he would have went to the stripe, made those free throws, game's over, let's get out of here.
But he still would have had he still would have had the conversation.
He could have sent the league a strongly worded email if we would have won the game.
Well, nah, he still would have probably went to the post game and said something about the refs, because y'all got to think about this, man. When you look at the whole situation and what's going on with the refs, it's unfair. It's an uneven exchange in the NBA. The refs can arbitrate over the game, make calls, and make decisions that affect you, your team, your wins, your losses, your livelihood. These coaches, a lot of these guys' livelihoods, a lot of these players' livelihoods, a lot of these players' jobs, a lot of these coaches' jobs on the bench depend on certain calls, certain way things are going. You never know how you can shift a season and everything like that. So if you're the refs and you're making bad calls, you're actually affecting guys. You're affecting coaches. You're affecting players' monies. Some of these guys have in contracts certain clauses where if we win this many games, we get this much of a bonus. If we do this, we get this much of a bonus. If we don't do that or whatever, and that affects it. So if the referees can be such a strict and have a strict output on what it is, when they can throw you out, when they don't throw you out, what is a foul, what isn't a foul, well, the NBA should allow the other guys to have their side too and be more transparent. The NBA should be more transparent with their punishment of referees. They should be more transparent of saying this referee got this wrong, he did this, putting him on front line instead of hiding behind that problem, trying to make it seem like our referees always have the most integrity because they're human beings. They make mistakes. And then shifting on and saying, look, we're going to have transparency on both ways. I've always hated how the NBA has approached the referees versus the team aspect of basketball. It should be more of a open, transparent dialogue between the two sides. So therefore, when a referee messes up, the same way you find a coach or somebody else that they mess up, find that referee and put it out there in the public what you did. Don't hide what you did to the referee in public, because that's why you lose more fans and more people say the game is rigged.
Facts. Chitchat. How many times have I said, Chitchat, that they need to have a post-game interviews for the refs too? They ask the players questions, ask the coaches questions. They need to ask the refs some questions too.
Well,
that's a fact, Bob.
Don't they have the 2 minute? What is it called in the NBA? I believe it's called the 2 minute, the last 2 minutes of the game, where they go over what referees got right and what they got wrong. And when a referee gets something wrong, even though 95% of their calls, they get them right, but when they do get something wrong, especially when in the meat and potatoes of the game, that could cost a referee. That could cost a referee a game. The most important, a lot of these referees, what they're trying to get to is they're trying to get to the playoffs, because that's where the money is. Whether it's whether it's the Eastern Conference first round, whether it's the conference championship, the NBA finals, that's where the money is with these referees. So that's what they're trying to get to. And when you're blowing calls, especially when you're a newer ref, when you blowing calls, you get taken off of games. So instead of me reffing the Clippers in Oklahoma City last night, I'm getting taken off that game because 2 nights ago I blew a call. And now what that's going to do is that's moving forward. They're looking at me like, well, we were originally wanting him on our Eastern Conference playoff staff. Well, now it's looking tricky for you. So in addition to me at the end of the season or at the end of a game having to explain that, this is what it's going to look like too. I'm losing games.
That's not enough, Chilton. That's not enough, because the same thing goes for the players. The players are trying to get to the playoffs too. You know what I'm saying? The players are trying to get to the playoffs too. And when these refs want to be involved in the game so bad that they're just blowing their whistle, or the lack thereof not blowing their whistle, you know what I'm saying? That affects these players trying to get to the playoffs. So now they both got the same goals, but the players still got to answer these questions. These players, you know how it is after a game, to tell you, especially if you lost a game that you know you could have won, whether it's the ref's fault or your own, you're still upset. You got to answer these dumbass questions. You up there mad, trying to keep your composure, not trying to cuss out whoever it is with the microphone. The ref need to be up there too. Obviously not at the same time, but you know, the ref should have to do the same thing. Everybody got to answer questions, and everybody's trying to get to the playoffs. So why are these refs treated like almost like demigods? The refs are treated like, oh, they can make no wrong. They're humans. It's human. He's just human. Mistakes happen. The same thing happens with basketball players. They're humans too.
I think that we also tried to alleviate it by putting in instant replay. So if I do get something wrong, wait a minute, let's go back and take a look, and let's do that. But then they get those calls wrong. That makes it worse, right? So when you go look at instant replay and it's right in front of you, and you get it wrong, now it looks even worse, because we're putting instant replay in the game, so you don't determine, even though it's taken away from the human factor, just like you missing a shot, just like you blowing a layup, just like you blowing an assignment. You are, when you put it in instant replay, you're taking away from the human factor, but we also trying to cut down mistakes too. We are trying to do that. One of the biggest problems that referees have, and I know this for a fact, refereeing, one of the biggest problems referees have is involving themselves in the game. Okay, nobody's here to see you. Nobody in this building bought a ticket to see you. These guys are the show. Let them involve you in the show. But these guys involve themselves in the show, and that's where they get themselves in trouble.
Imagine that. Imagine if we was just chilling and someone was like, man, who's your favorite ref?
Yeah, man. I mean, I agree with Bob. I do think the NBA should do that. They should make the refs, and if they take that idea, they need to go ahead and give you a cut, Bob, because that's a damn good idea. I mean, making the refs have a post-game press conference and the media able to ask them, why did you make this call right here? Why did you make that call right there? Why did you make that call? What were you thinking about? And them having to explain that, especially if you know and they know it's a bad call. That's correct. That right there will clean up a lot of the stuff that's going on and make the refs have to make better decisions, because they know after the game, they don't just get run out the tunnel and get to run to the back wherever they're going. Yeah, they got to stand in there and really answer those questions in front of everybody. And now they got to be critiqued in front of everybody. Everybody knows their name too. not just like we know the NBA basketball players. I totally agree with that. I think that will bring much more transparency to the league. And I think if Adam Silver does that, he need to give you your cut immediately, and that need to be a big cut too.
Nah, for sure. I'll feel you, Ticket. So you guys, you hear that right now. If you guys implement that rule, give me my cut.
Just so you know, Ticket, even though having to face the music and having to get in front of people and explain why I made that call, it's even worse having to talk to the supervisor after the game, because that's the first dude that wants to talk to me. What did you see right here? When he lights up the film, what do you see right here? And again, Big Ox, we're talking about the difference between me reffing in the playoffs and me getting taken off of games. Right. So me sitting in front of the press and having to tell you, well, I saw Karl Anthony Towns with his forearm in LeBron James's back, and that's his 5th foul, by the way. And now he's got to sit down for 5 of the 9 minutes, for 5 of the last 12 minutes of the quarter, which now screws up Minnesota, because we got a damn good game. Now that takes him off the floor, takes a rebound off the floor, as opposed to me having to explain that to my supervisor and him basically reaming me, telling me that you blew this call. This is where you should have been, because he's going to tell me every position that I was in. He's going to tell me what I should have been looking at, where I should have been, what I should have been doing, why I didn't blow this whistle. And with all of that being said, my game that's coming up on Friday when I'm doing the Clippers and Minnesota, no, I'm not. Now I'm doing Detroit and I'm doing the Nets.
Is the pay the same though?
Not in the playoffs, it's not.
Oh yeah, not in the playoffs. Yeah. But Chitchat, imagine if I'm like, yo, Chitchat, I'm about to be in Orlando. Orlando's playing Phoenix. Let's go to the game. And you like, oh man, you trying to go see KD? No, I want to go watch Scott Foster.
No, nobody bought a ticket to come see you. Nobody bought a ticket to come see you. Nobody.
Yo, so it was the second question on the super chat, and DSG Piccolo, he asked, how far do the Pacers get with Siakam? So for those who don't know, right now it's crazy rumors swirling around that the Pacers are the highest bidder or the only bidder for Pascal Siakam, and it's looking like the trade as of right now, from what was reported, is Bruce Brown in 3 first rounds.
That's a lot.
So how did
that's a
Buddy Hield is in it too. Buddy Hield is in it too.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm not talking about the names. I'm saying that's a lie. If you think that's the only team, that's a lie. That is him using. That's the oldest trick in the book. That's him saying, "Oh yeah, it's only one team," to make other teams who want Pascal up their offer. That is the oldest trick in the book. Ron, if I'm trying to sell somebody a car and I say, "Hey man, I'm only gonna sell this car to Chilltown," but you really want the car, guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna up your bread to go get that car, because I've said I'm only gonna get it to Chilltown. Listen. Masai Ujiri, he's the Ric Flair of the NBA. He the dirtiest player in the game. He ain't gonna make a deal unless he know for sure he's gonna win. You think that he wants a Bruce Brown that's gonna fall off his books and completely tear down that franchise after he got those 2 pieces? No, he got good pieces in the deal. He got 2 starters in the deal. He got a number 3 overall pick in the deal for OG, and he got another starter that's gonna be his future starting point guard. That's gonna probably be what we call a 20-point per game point guard going forward in the future. And Emmanuel quickly. So he ripped those 2 guys off of him, gave up OG, a dude that might not even re-sign with the Knicks if things don't go well for the rest of the season in the playoffs with the Knicks. He may go sign with another team because he can become a free agent. So then he already won that deal. Why is he gonna blow it up to start it over when you got those 2 guys already? Only thing you need to do is if you're gonna trade if you're gonna trade now Pascal, you got to get a big chip. I'm not looking for no draft picks. It ain't nobody. I mean, my boy may be in the draft from Auburn, Chad Baker Mayfield. He balling. He'll probably be a first-round pick either next year or this year, depending on what he does in the tournament, because they like top 10 in the country right now, I think. So, but anyways, like I said, but you got to think about stuff like this, man. Yeah, you got to think about stuff like this, man. Like, that man ain't stupid, man. I don't even think he deals him. I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't deal him. I like the team the way they are now. I would try to talk him off the cliff, try to get through this season, come back with a fresh season and an off season, because I like the team that they have now. I think they got off to such a bad start. Now, when they made the trade for RJ and them, it's kind of hard to get back on track. That's why you see the coach panicking when they played the Lakers game, when he was arguing about those calls, because they're losing games like that, and it's getting them off track. But again, a team like Houston, you could be telling them, who could be playing hardball. Sure, I told Mars this yesterday. You think Ime Udoka is going to play these games? No, Ime Udoka's in this to win. He's not finna play these little punk games. So the Houston Rockets, look for them. I'm telling y'all, they're going to be real sneaky with how they move this year and this offseason going into next year. So no, that's a lie. OG only to Indiana? You think that's not OG. Pascal only to Indiana? You think
Not
that's the
only
only
that.
team? Come on, man, cut it out.
And not only that, Ticket, to compound your point, what is Indiana giving up? Okay, so Indiana's going to give up their best long ball shooter. Let's just say for the sake of argument, Big Ox, that's the deal. They're going to give up their best long ball shooter, right? They're also going to give up their best rotation player. And for Siakam, who already said that he's testing free agency this summer. He already said that, which means that there's no guarantee that he's coming back there. So not only do you lose your best long ball shooter and your best rotation player, you're probably going to lose Siakam too. Why would they risk that? There's no way to. There's as good as Siakam is. Plus, with Siakam on that unit, does he push them over the top? Are they now the favorites in the East? No, I don't think so.
I'm not saying that, Chill, but I'm saying this is what I'm saying. If you look at that team right now as orchestrated, I like the squad. I just think they need a new training camp. I don't dislike the team. I think that team is a damn good team that they have right now.
You talking about Toronto, Ticket?
Yeah. Damn right. If I'm Masai, after trading OG, I'm trying to talk, Pascal into re-signing and start re-clearing the deck, starting over next year.
Which he wants to, by the way. He wants to come back.
So that's what I'm saying, because I think that if they came back with that same team and just made a few little adjustments here and there, bro, that team is going to be, RJ's balling. We ain't going to take that. He's balling. Quickly has been playing solid for them. The team hasn't been playing back. You still got Scotty Barnes. He's going to do what he do. Pascal's coming back. I mean, a couple little tweaks here and there. That is a top 5 seed in the East right there.
That's a solid squad. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Miami's gonna get involved.
Yeah, but what is Pat gonna do though, Bob?
Right.
You know how Pat the old dude. Pat the old dude that go pop Bob. Yeah. Pat's the old dude that go to the he go to the corner store and he don't even want to pay 60 cents for a pack of bubble gum. Right. He trying to still get it for 25 cents. Remember when they had the little 25 cent? He's still trying to get it for that.
The juicy fruit and the big red.
Yeah, like come on, bro. What he gonna do?
But that's another thing too. You know from side in Pat Riley that negotiation is gonna be at a stalemate quick because they both trying to steal. So they both think they Danny Ainge. So I don't know, but you see, we backed out. The Kings backed out because he said he most likely wouldn't resign. And so I'm like, if he's not gonna resign with us, is he making that known to other teams, or is he just kind of just being quiet, going to let them just do their thing and then not resign? And on top of that, what do y'all think? Do y'all think that's a bad, do you think that's unethical for him to allow a team to trade for him if he doesn't plan on resigning?
No, I think that's you putting your cards on the table. Listen, if you resign, if you trade for me, just know that I'm not resigning with you. I'm testing free agents at least. Right. I just think that's being honest. I don't think that's being unethical. In fact, I think it's being ethical.
And if the Pacers do that, they got to get rid of Obi Toppin. You've destroyed Obi Toppin.
Nah, him and Obi, when they go small, him and Obi will run the floor together.
Plus Obi a rotation guys though. Plus Obi a rotation guy.
I don't know if I like that, bro. I want, because if it was me, I would, man. Obi Toppin need a guy like Mike D'Antoni, bro. Mike D'Antoni can turn Obi Toppin into a low budget Amari Stoudemire, bro. Because he's got enough of a jump.
Some Obi Toppin ticket, boy.
He's a lottery pick. He's electrifying. And trust me, in an offense like Mike D'Antoni used to run, Mike D'Antoni will throw him in a pick and roll and use him like Amari Stoudemire, bro. Trust me, because he has enough of a jump shot. His 3-ball is wet. He can shoot the J. You know what I'm saying? They just don't feature him. Mike D'Antoni in a pick and roll with him? Man, everybody who played for Mike D'Antoni, their stats went through the roof. Look at all the guys that Mike D'Antoni got paid just because they were playing in his system, playing with him. Look at what happened to James Harden. We saw James Harden on steroids when he played for Mike D'Antoni. So I'm thinking of a guy like Obi Toppin. If you bring Pascal, that kind of takes into more of Obi Toppin's growth. In my opinion, I want to see Obi Toppin reach his full potential, and I don't think he can if you bring especially a guy like Pascal who get buckets. and demand shots at that position. Even though the big guy they got now and Miles Turner, he's gonna get the shots. He's not Joel Embiid demanding the ball. Pascal Siakam feel like he need 18 to 20 shots a game. Bro.
Yeah,
I think it's more important.
Even with that being said, even right now, Obi's coming off the bench though. Like I'm looking at their last game, Obi only played 13 minutes. They starting Jalen Smith over him, and he's playing more minutes.
Yeah, but still, like I said, listen. I mean, I ain't gonna question Rick Carlisle because I respect his acumen. But if I had a team and I had Obi Toppin, I have him out here looking like a Amari Stoudemire, man. Straight, I pick and roll all day long.
He's been looking nice this year too.
It's more important. It's more important for that team to reach their fullest potential rather than Obi reach his fullest potential. You know
but I'm saying they can if he did. They can if he does to me, Bob. They can.
I like Obi Toppin. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying. Pascal Siakam is clearly better. So I feel like if you got Pascal and maybe he is getting his 15 shots a game, but Obi's coming off that bench and still playing anywhere from 12 to 18.
For how many years though?
He needs to play more. He needs to play more.
How many years you think you're getting out of Pascal?
Maybe 4.
How old is Pascal?
29.
29.
Come on, man.
And
Obi Toppin's like what? Obi Toppin's like what, Bob?
26.
I don't know, maybe 24.
No, he older than that. He was
he did all 4.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is Obi Toppin's never going to be as good as Pascal Siakam.
Man,
no matter who's coaching.
Hey, man, listen. If somehow Mike D'Antoni weasels his way back in the league and was to get his hands on an Obi Toppin, you'll take that back. I'm trying to tell you, man. That dude, man, I see it, bro. I see the Amari Stoudemire carbon copy in this guy, man. He just needs the coach he needs the right system to be in to be able to flourish the way his game is. He plays exactly almost like Amari played. Pick and pop, pick and roll, I'm yamming in your face, disgrace. And I love him, man. Straight up, bro. And he's putting up double figures off the bench.
I got nothing but love for Obi. All I'm saying is I'd rather get that production off my bench and rock with Siakam. I would not get Siakam just because I'm wanting to see how good Obi Toppin's going to be. But I do think that Pacers team will be really good with Pascal Siakam, especially if they keep Miles Turner. I didn't know Buddy was involved in the trade, so I'm not really sure. I would prefer to keep Buddy if I'm getting Pascal to help spread the floor, but.
Well, keep in mind, so the Pacers are one of the better shooting teams in the league. If I'm not mistaken, Mars, if I'm not mistaken, they won. If I'm not mistaken, I think they are the best 3-point shooting team in the NBA. So I mean, obviously, you
in terms of what I'm pretty sure Boston lead the league in threes.
Percentage.
They're seventh right now. They might have been higher when Tyrese was there, though. So
okay, so you obviously lose your best shooter in Buddy, but the Pacers still have other shooters. They still got what's his name, Benedict Mathurin. They still obviously have Ryan Nembhard. They got Tyrese Halliburton, obviously, at Miles Turner. He's been hitting Obi Toppin. So they still got these other guys. Who's the one guy? He's been balling right now. He moved into the starting lineup.
So I don't know, Ron. But wait a second, though, Ron. So that's all Toronto wants, Chilltown?
You talking about Aaron Nesmith?
Yeah, Aaron Nesmith. Yeah, so you still got all of these guys that still can shoot fairly well. I think actually it's addition by subtraction. And Pascal's the biggest addition, but I'm like, get Buddy out of here and let's let Benedict rock full time. Let's let him get the minutes in. Really, now we start getting into our backcourt of the future, which is obviously Benedict and Tyrese Halliburton. Now we get Buddy out the way, and it's like, Benedict, you'll be as great as you possibly could be.
But Ron, are you telling me that the Jazz and the Thunder are not getting involved in this, and all they want is 3 first-round picks? Both of these teams have 40 first-round picks.
No, it's what Ticket just said. It's what Ticket just said. They lying. They making it look like it's just Indiana. No, the Jazz have picked up the phone. There's plenty of other teams who've picked up the phone and that's checking this dude's temperature to see what they're looking for. It's not just that. They just putting it out there and keeping it quiet right now, like the Jazz, the Warriors, teams like that. They just keeping it quiet right now. It's one of the oldest tricks in the book. That's definitely.
I don't really too much like the Warriors package. You know what I'm saying, for what they got. But if we're getting involved in draft pick talks, like OKC and the Jazz not being involved in this is That's crazy to me. Now I hear what you're saying that they most likely are, and they just haven't put that out there.
Mars, you like marketing. Mars, you like marketing in Oklahoma City more than you like Pascal.
So I like both of them.
OKC saving their picks for Lowry. That's what they're doing. They're not gonna invest. Pascal, they're not investing in what a potential 3-month rental. They're not, even though they have the picks to give up, like they do. But I'd be surprised if Sam Presti's giving up picks, unless he really thinks Pascal will get them a championship this year. But I think Larry Martin
is he the difference? Is Pascal Siakam the difference in Oklahoma City with them winning? Because they got a big problem in the whole rebounding, dirty work. I don't think Pascal's the difference in Oklahoma City with them winning. And to get him for 3 months, the last 28 games of the season, and probably lose him in free agency, and what it's going to cost, right? And what it's going to cost them. Because Mars, the first round picks, I think that they'd be willing to give those up because, again, we're talking about an Oklahoma City team that's going to be good, right? They're going to be good. So them first round picks, we talking 28, 26. Those are the picks that a jury is looking at. I don't think a jury just wants them picks. I think he wants something else too. It's not just those picks. You're gonna have to hand over some of them kids too.
Speaking of kids, OKC can offer up Josh Giddey. So Josh Giddey for Larry Markkinen plus picks. And Utah, they like that. Shout out to number 32. So it makes sense. It makes sense for Utah to get Larry Markkinen to OKC.
Mars, you said that the trolling logic. You said the trolling logic.
That's not trolling. That's an observation. That's observation.
Yo, with that being said, though, like I think y'all tripping. If OKC get Pascal, it's on. And I do want to talk about the OKC and Clippers game. So we could definitely talk about that next. But they get another guy that can go downhill, push the fast break, and the versatility with Chet and Pascal on the front line.
What are you talking about, Ron? Is buckets though, okay? And I understand
Pascal play a little bit of defense.
Oh, so does Chet and SGA.
And even if he can stretch the floor a little bit,
even if that's true, we still got a bigger problem here, and the bigger problem is in the interior. I watch Bam. Don't let that 23-8 or that 23-7 from Chet fool you. Bam beat him up. I watched Anthony Davis beat Chet up a couple of nights ago. This is what it's going to be in the playoffs when they got to see Minnesota, when they got to see the Lakers, when they got to see Denver, when they got to see teams like that. When you got a 5-man that's that frail, one, that's a rookie, but then two, that's that frail, and you got to rebound as a team defensively, and you got kids, that's a huge problem.
I mean,
Chitchat, guys like who am I thinking about? Like Andre,
I got Lou Dort,
like Steven Adams. Lou Dort is not Lou Dort is not that.
But my thing is chill time. Everybody beats up on Chet. Chet's getting picked on this year, but he's still a young fella though. He's still getting stronger, still getting bigger.
Right.
I think Pascal Siakam, if traded to OKC, I 100% believe he resigns. I 100% believe he resigns.
I think he wants to be in Toronto, and I think the difference here is with him getting traded to Oklahoma City, they get his bird rights. So with them getting his bird rights, that's supermax money that we're looking at. I don't think Oklahoma City is going to supermax money with him. They're not doing that, and I think that's the money that he wants.
Yeah, and
they still got a couple years before they have to pay Chet, though, right?
They got 4 dudes on a rook deal. Chet, what's his name again, Mars? The guy from Kentucky,
Cason
Wallace, Giddey, and
J-Dub.
Chet, Wallace, Giddey, and J-Dub. Those 4 guys still on their rook deals. So you still got some time. You still got some time.
Some money to spend.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that I don't think we've harped on enough. Regardless of where Pascal go to, are you going to turn down that money? Because I'm assuming anybody that trades for him, now they know that it's like, okay, we got to put that money on the table to make him not walk. Is Pascal going to walk away from that money? If he goes to the Pacers and they're like, yo, Supermax, here, Pascal. Is he like, nah, I'm going back over here?
I hope a team doesn't give him a Supermax. Well, no, man, get your money, Pascal. I'm not going to. Get your money. I wouldn't give him a Supermax.
I'm not going to. Look, they pay him more than any other team else will.
Nah, it would be funny though if Toronto traded him and then he just re-signed with Toronto in next season.
That'd be fire. He's getting 40. He's getting 43 a year from them, right?
I don't know what he's getting. I don't check out Pascal.
Hey man, this is some great basketball conversation. I ain't even know Ticket could sit up here and do this. It's some new shit right here. You know what I'm saying? I just thought I was just this wild, crazy, deranged, insane, out of control dude. That
you are that
basketball, man.
But you are that though, Ticket. But you also could be chill too. Like you know how to act.
I'm just saying. I mean, I'm always gonna stand on business.
Yeah, right.
But at the same time, like I said, I ain't even know this. It's surprising me. 2024 is crazy. Cat Williams don't set the year off, man.
Do it. That brings me to two things, Ticket. Because first we got to get everybody's New Year's resolution. We didn't get yours. But second of all, speaking of standing on business, I want to say I was watching intently yesterday, and I want to commend you, Chitchat, for standing on business when these fools was up here talking that crazy shit about Jason Tatum.
What?
I'm happy you did that.
Chill.
You're the number one guy in the Kawhi Leonard fan
Chill
club.
was the only one saying that Jason Tatum better than Kawhi, and you commenting him.
Wait. It's not. I'm not saying he's better than Kawhi Leonard. That wasn't the part. It was the other part. When y'all was talking about he ain't top 10. We also talking about him and Jaylen Brown can't win together. That's what I'm talking about. Better than Kawhi.
Mars, I got this, jabroni. Let me answer this then. So my New Year's resolution ain't no New Year's resolution. My resolution is always what it's been, to keep my foot square on your asses. That is what my resolution is. I'm not gonna change. And I seen people in the comment section, oh yeah, Ticket's gonna change. Man, boy, rent free, baby. Rent free. I live rent free in y'all minds in that comment section. I don't have to be nowhere near this chat. I'm gonna live rent free in your mind, and it's always gonna be that way. And you hate it, baby. Now back to you, Bob. Little Ox. Let me get back to you, right?
First little Ox of the year.
You said,
shout out.
You said we act like this. He said we act like it can't work. It hasn't. They haven't won a chip, bro. We've seen them together for like 6 years, 7 years. It hasn't worked. So, bro,
that's because they didn't have Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis.
What do you mean?
Nothing can work until it actually works. So until we actually see it work, okay, sure, it hasn't worked. But
man, y'all see this is where he's saying that. Oh, we saying this, we saying that, bro. It has not worked. They literally have not won.
But it ain't like we ain't close. You keep talking, Ticket, like every year.
Hold on, you actually regress.
It ain't like okay, you regress one place. It's not like they're getting bounced in the first round.
No. But I'm saying I'm saying, but hold on. But what I'm saying is you're regressing. Right now, it looks good. Like I said yesterday, you're in the regular season. You just told me yourself you don't think that Jaylen Brown is worth $300 million. So the way he's playing,
I don't think nobody.
The way he's playing,
I don't think it's just Jaylen Brown. I don't think nobody.
Right? No. But that's what he's talking about. Bob's saying that. Oh, y'all talking about Tatum and Brown. I'm telling him that if I'm paying a dude $300 million, it better work. Y'all better be looking like Kobe and Shaq.
Well,
you know that's where the league is going. Everybody's about to be making that money soon. It's just like when Mike Conley got that first big contract. He wasn't even the top 5 point guard in the NBA.
Hold on. But what are they doing right now? What did they do when they put him on this team right now?
Who? Mike Conley?
They looking like a championship level team, and they look for real. I'll have my speculations about them. They look like they could be anybody.
10 years ago.
They look like they can be anybody right now. No. But I'm saying
they can't.
But you have to look at circumstances. They were ahead of the scale because most of the time when you looked at Mike Conley, what happened? He got hurt most of those series.
Yeah, but Memphis gave him that money back in what, 2013?
No, I know, but listen, I'm saying most of the series after that he been hurt.
Playing the league. Right, and that's fair. But what I'm saying, all I'm saying, Ticket, is all I'm saying is that Jaylen Brown, that money, he was just the first one. Everybody's about to be getting that money soon.
Ticket wants to hold him to that standard, and I get that part. I do get that part. But the idea of them regressing, I mean, how much did they regress? Ticket, they was in the finals in 2022, and in 2023 they lost in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Championship. So they were a game away from going back to the finals. So it's not like
where they at now, though.
So let's discuss where they are right now, Ticket. Where they are right now?
Smoked by the Bucks by 40 and one half.
Yes, they did.
Don't forget that. Not only that, had they won that Game 7, they'd go on to beat the Nuggets.
I think so. I think so. But back to your point, Ticket. You're just talking about You talking about
Jimmy Butler ain't retired yet. I just want to throw that out there.
Back to Ticket's point, where they are now, they're the number one team in the NBA, not the number one team in the Eastern Conference, number one team in the NBA. Who, by the way, who got smoked by, you just said Minnesota. I mean, you just said by Milwaukee, who beat Minnesota the night before that in their building. They beat the number one team in the Western Conference.
Who they got to play in the East to get to the finals? Who they got to go through? They got to go through Minnesota. They got to go through the Bucks.
Actually, I'm glad you brought that up, Ticket, because as the number one seed, they got to come see us. So they got to go through us.
No. But the season is not. Hold on, sir. The season is not finished yet, and there are only a few games in between the Bucks. And if you look at the Bucks' schedule, the Bucks may catch them because they play the Pistons 2 times coming up. The Bucks have a very favorable schedule to catch Boston. So if Boston slips up, the Bucks will take the number one seed, sir.
And it's the same Milwaukee team who, like you just said, they smoked them a couple of nights ago, but Boston did beat Milwaukee earlier in the season. So it's not like this is not like they just been handling Milwaukee like Indiana.
Yeah, but you can't. But we discount the game early in the season because it's early.
Handling Milwaukee.
We discount the games early in the season because it's early, right?
Why we discount? Why I take the regular season serious?
The same way we discount the play-in tournament because most teams were early in the season and you can't get into a rhythm. You know this, Chilltown. Don't play this game with me.
No, I'm not playing any games with you, Ticket. I take the regular season very seriously, and the fact that the Indiana
I didn't say you didn't,
and the fact that the Indiana Pacers have smoked the Milwaukee Bucks every time they've seen them, that matters. Just like Milwaukee has beaten the Boston Celtics.
Bro, Indiana's not even in the picture no more, though.
Yes,
Indiana's about to be out of the playoffs.
They 6 in the East right now. They ain't going.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
Look it up.
The Indiana Pacers are 6 in the East right now.
Let me look it up. Where they at, Mars?
Hold on, I'm about to pull it on the screen right now.
They'll be out of there by the night.
By tonight.
The Knicks play the Rockets, so the Knicks are actually going to be 23-18.
Thank you. They'll be out of there by the night.
No, 23-18.
Since Realtown is running his mouth, they'll be gone by the night.
They losing tonight. The Knicks losing tonight.
They're going to be out of there tonight.
Nah.
This is what the Eastern Conference standings look like. Obviously, at the top, you got the Boston Celtics. Then you got the Bucks right behind them. The Sixers in 3rd place. The Cavs in 4th. Miami in 5th. The Pacers are actually 6th right now, but they are tied with the New York Knicks at 6 and 7. So it's right there. And then you got the Magic at 8. Boy, how they fell from.
They'll be out tonight because hold on. When does Halliburton come back?
He's going to be evaluated in 2 more weeks, so he's not coming back.
They done. They done. So it don't matter what they did against the Milwaukee Bucks. They'll be so far in the gutter, you can't even. I ain't gonna say that, but you can't. Yeah, it's over with.
All right.
I forgot. I got to be PC on PC. So.
No, you don't. Of all the people in here, you dudes know for a fact I can turn Ticket up.
I'm not trying to get that fake Dr. JB calling me after the show.
I'll be turning Ticket up. I'll turn Ticket up if y'all need to. Don't think for 1 second I can't.
Fake Dr. J overseas stealing Dr. J's dunks overseas. You think this fool stealing Dr. J's dunks and stuff overseas, man? Sit down somewhere, man.
Yo, so we got about an hour left. I still got a lot of stuff that we got to get into for today's episode. So go ahead. Hey, do not change the show. Keep your seatbelts strapped in. We're gonna get into a couple more good topics. We still going up. But right from the top, I do want to say check us out tonight on Playback. We watching the Lakers game. If you're not doing nothing, you gonna want to see that. Download the Playback app.
Look a little bit like since Ticket brought that up, I'm sorry, but Shaq does look a little bit like Doc. Now that I think about it, he does look a little bit like
you be seeing him stealing his dunks and stuff, stealing how he dunks and everything, man. Come on, man.
Lakers match 8:30 Eastern on Playback. Shaq, stop jacking Dr. J. Find your own swag, find your own aura. Also, $10 super chats to change the question right now, $25 super chats to change the topic, and go check out PC merch. I got a Cash App chat right now. I got a Cash Chat. We're still doing that. I got a start bench cut from Corday Jackson. He says start bench cut D-Rob, Dirk, KG.
Start bench cut KG, David Robinson, and who?
Dirk.
And y'all missing one tier. Y'all should have $100 super chat to put one of us in timeout for about 4 minutes.
It's not up there. Hey, it's not up there.
Yeah,
but
so when Chilltown
$100
is running his mouth talking that buffoonery, somebody could just say, "Hey, here go $100. Put Chilltown down. Put him on."
We can do the same thing with you. Ticket. The minute you run your mouth,
guess what,
they go $100. We still getting paid.
I break ice.
Y'all can just or chat. You could just cash at me the 50, and I'll drop out the lobby for 3 minutes myself. You know what I'm saying? We can just go that way. Hey, Ron, you get your 15%, bro. Don't even trip.
Hey.
Oh man, dog.
$100 to make anybody in here shut what they call the hell up.
I hate this type of stuff.
Start this cut though,
because what it's doing is causing controversy. David Robinson had a 6-year run where he finished top 4 in Defensive Player of the Year and finished top 3 in league MVP. He was that awesome, and I think he finished 3rd in the league in MVP votes in '92. He had 3 different coaches that year. Imagine if we had to do it in the league today, finishing 3rd in the league, and he had 3 different coaches in 1 year, and he still was playing awesome. David Robinson did that. In addition to winning the Defensive Player of the Year, he did that. That happened.
Start KG, bench D-Rob, cut Dirk.
Start KD, bench who?
Start KG.
Oh, okay.
Start KG, bench David Robinson, cut Dirk.
Nah, I ain't doing that. Ain't no way in hell. I'm starting Dirk.
I know.
Because Dirk did what they all didn't do. Dirk led his own team to win the chip.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Dirk did. Dirk Diggler went and got it the ski mask way. He led his own team when his deck was stacked against him, and he went and beat Kobe, KD, and LeBron to go get the chip that same year, and D-Wade, and they prime. So yeah, I gotta go with Dirk, man. Dirk Diggler, he's starting, bro. I'm sorry, man. Dirk Diggler, what he did in his career, bro, 2 NBA Finals appearances, didn't have to have super teams, won the championship when his second best player was hurt. Went against the gauntlet. Who would have told you? And he went against Kobe and them coming off championships. So who would have told you he would have went through that team with Kobe and Powell, went through the team with Kevin Durant coming up with the OKC Thunder, and then beat a LeBron James super team in the NBA Finals when you were picked to lose? When you were down 0-2 or down 2-1? Excuse me. Ain't no way in hell.
I'm cool starting Dirk.
I got to go with Dirk, man. I'm sorry, bro. I can't put Kevin Garnett over there because KG had to leave. And remember, when they played each other, Dirk smoked KG in that series. He gave KG like 34 a game and 15 rebounds, 16 rebounds a game. Smoked Kevin Garnett in the playoffs. Made KG run to Boston. And like I told y'all, KG underachieved with Boston, maybe due to injury, but they should have got more chips in Boston. So he had to go to a super team just to win. Dirk stayed at home and did it in the gauntlet, man. I got to respect that, bro.
David Robinson.
Yeah, I'm with Mars. I'm with Mars on this one. Dirk's out of there. D-Rob off the bench. KG started. And I love Dirk.
Crazy, man. Y'all putting KG over Dirk, man. That's crazy.
I have no ill feelings towards any of them, and it's close. Like you got to start bench and cut. Like I have them all very close, but
why do you have KG over Dirk, Mars?
Because I'm not judging Dirk of 21 games.
No, I ain't saying 21 games. I'm talking about, but
a lot of what you said was based on the 2011.
He also led his team to 2 NBA Finals. Now KG went to 2 NBA Finals, but he had to do it on a super team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think when I'm judging these players, I've always spoke about how I think KG was just misused, and I think offensively Dirk's better than both of them. I think most.
Hold on, misuse where? Hold on, misuse where?
In Minnesota.
I think.
How was he misused? Hold on, Mars. Okay. How was he misused in Minnesota?
Stephon Marbury sold him.
Marbury was only there for a year or two, so we're gonna cut that out.
He sold. He sold.
I'm talking about all the other years. All the other years. How was he misused, Mars?
Because I don't think he was good enough offensively to carry the burden they wanted him to carry. So I think he was misused. Same reason I think David Robinson was misused until Tim Duncan got there.
So how does that make him? But how does that make him better than Dirk?
Because Dirk, like I was saying, Dirk was the best offensively of all of them. I think most of us up here would agree. Maybe someone would disagree if you think David Robinson was better, but Dirk was the best offensive player of all of them.
Dirk a better offensive player than David Robinson. He was
not
by a lot. Not by a lot.
Yeah, so I'm fine with saying Dirk's the best. I think Dirk's clearly the best offensive player. For me, it's clear.
You're disgusting, bro. You're disgusting.
The reason I'm taking those two guys,
so
not
Dirk
only are
clears
they two of the best.
Yes.
Hold on, Mars. I'm comfortable saying.
Hey, y'all up here tripping.
Yes.
Y'all up here.
Hold on. This man just said, hold on, Mars. This man just said something crazier than you. This man just said that Dirk offensively don't clear. Oh, all he had was a dusty ass jump hook, man.
Huh? That's not true. I disagree with everyone.
Wait. Hold on, Mars. Excuse me, Mars. Pardon me for a second, Mars. Number one, David Robinson, an animal in transition. Number two, David Robinson, money mid-range game. Number three, an animal on the box. Number four, ridiculous finisher.
David Robinson was out here shooting the mid-range. Man, get out of here, man.
Whoa. Oh, no. I am not letting you off the hook with this. I am not letting you off the hook with this. When guys weren't shooting the mid-range, it was David Robinson and Patrick Ewing who actually shot the mid-range. The big man, David Robinson, was incredible in stop and pop. And it was cash. Not only was he incredible in stop and pop.
David Robinson shooting
that shit like Lonzo Ball.
Right, they worked.
because he shot too much.
Also, you got to understand that the day and time that he was doing that. But what David Robinson was doing during that stretch in the 90s?
Mars, what did he shoot from the mid-range, Mars? What did he shoot from the mid-range?
There's no numbers for it, but if I had to guess.
Yeah, there is no numbers.
But I'd say it was in the 40s, like low 40s, probably. Like 40s.
And what was Dirk shooting in the mid-range?
50 plus.
Thank you.
Hold on, Ron.
Dirk shoots better, Ticket.
And then let's go to the deep ball. That ain't even close. The long ball. That ain't even close.
Okay.
Then we put in the fact that Dirk had the patented one-legger. Couldn't nobody stop that in the post. Turn around, one leg fade away. Nobody can stop that. He patented that move. So not only and Dirk can post you up too.
Yo, there is a reason why your name is Ticket.
Man, y'all dudes are disgusting, man.
Oh,
and Dirk can post you up, play in the mid-range at a higher level than David Robinson, and play the long ball higher than David Robinson. And he gonna talk about it's close. It ain't close.
The mid-range you know that David Robinson led the league in scoring, right?
The mid-range game is not close. The deep ball is not close. The post game,
I'll give you the deep ball. I'll give you the deep ball. I'll give you the deep ball.
I'll give you the mid-range too. You don't think Dirk's mid-range is way better than David Robinson?
I think Dirk mid-range was money. I don't think it was way better, but I do think it was better.
Man,
way better. I do think
I agree with you on Dirk being the better offensive player, but I disagree.
Hey, Ron, this is disgusting. You sitting back here not saying that.
Wait a minute, Ticket. Wait. Rewind. Ticket. I'll give you the mid-range. 100%. I'll give you the mid-range.
But I'm saying he clears him on the mid-range. You making it seem like this close.
No, once again, I'll give you the mid-range. I think he's a better mid-range shooter.
The long ball.
I'll give you the long ball. Transition.
That's 2 points right there.
Okay. Transition.
Dirk was good at
young Dirk was getting up and down that floor.
Are you kidding me?
Dirk was getting up and down that
There's
floor.
no way, Mars, that
you want to get cooked again.
No, I'm not saying he's better than David Robinson. I'm not saying he's better than David
Let's do
Robinson.
it.
But young Dirk was getting up and down.
So young Dirk was getting up and down. He was not getting up and down the floor like David Robinson.
No.
The athlete that David Robinson was, the finisher that he was. David Robinson was ridiculous around the basket in transition. Now let's talk about being on the box. I can appreciate Dirk with that one-legger. Took him over a decade to get it down. But he did get it down. David Robinson, on the other hand, it's not a lie. That is not a lie. David Robinson, on the other hand,
it took Dirk 10 years to get a one-legger.
When did Dirk get in the league?
He showed up in 99. That's when he showed up.
Well, about 9 years. It was about 08 when he really had.
So David Robinson, on the other hand, gets the ball on the box, finishes with the left hand, finishes with the right hand, dunking over big guys, great hands around the rim. To say that he clears him, I will tell you right here, I'll give you the long ball. That ain't even a question. I will give you the mid-range also, no doubt about that. But to say that he clears him, I think you clearly underestimate how good. You clearly underestimate how good. We're talking about a scorer. We're not talking about an offensive player. We're talking about a scorer. To say that
the first 10 years in his career offensively, Dirk was in transition. You forgot they were playing Donnie Nelson basketball. So they were up and down, sir. Don't play this game with me. Go ahead somewhere.
It wasn't close. It was him and David Robinson, the athlete that he was, the finisher that he was around the rim.
That don't mean nothing. We talking about finishing in transition.
Yes, and that's exactly what we're talking about. Finishing in transition. Dirk Nowitzki was not the finisher in transition that David Robinson was. No, he was not. No, he was not.
So look, hey, Ron. So watch this right here, right? We're going to lie. We're going to lie, Bob.
Nobody's lying.
Hold on.
The reason why nobody's lying is because you can't bring facts to it. You can't bring facts to it.
Mars, since you got the facts, let me ask you a question. With Steve Nash and Dirk Nowitzki, where were they finishing in offensive pace in the league those years that they was playing together?
Got to do with anything.
They was up and down.
What the hell does that have to do with anything?
They were top 10 in pace consistently.
Man, come on, man. This dude is a capper, man. Now, where were the Spurs finishing? Where were the Spurs finishing in pace? They were one of the last place teams in pace.
Wait.
They were playing that slow basketball with Avery Johnson, man. Cut it out, man.
What does that have? Okay, so he didn't get Avery Johnson until later. So he had guys like Vinny Del Negro, right? He had guys like that. But that doesn't negate the fact that David Robinson got up and down the floor with the best of them. Finished at the rim with the best of them. He was a better athlete than Dirk Nowitzki. He was a better finisher around the rim in transition. Yes, it does.
No, just because you're a better athlete don't mean you finishing better in transition. Dirk was getting up and down the court too.
So with that being said, we're going off the eyes. So if I'm going off the eye test, David Robinson was a better finisher in transition than Dirk Nowitzki. Now, then we respectfully agree to disagree. I'm sorry, Ron.
I think Dirk's the better offensive player.
Thank you, man.
I think of all of them, I think Dirk's the best offensive player of all.
Ron, you not saying that, Ron? You are.
I think Ron agrees with
Ticket. You don't want me to talk because
So you didn't see him with Steve Nash? Before Steve
you
Nash,
just don't know how you feel about David Robinson.
Before Steve Nash went to the Suns, him and Steve Nash wasn't running that court. They was not out here.
They was getting up and down the floor.
Pace in the league when Nelly Ball run. You gonna act like you ain't see that?
Ticket. The transition part is not. It's that's not the thing with me. The transition part. I just think David Robinson, other than shooting, is better than everything else than Dirk. Everything.
Offensively?
What do you mean everything? What do you mean?
Other than shooting, he's a better offensive player than Dirk.
So how do you feel about David Robinson in the playoffs?
In the playoffs?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Say that.
Yeah. Why did his offense fall off so much?
Yeah, come on, Chitchat. Answer that.
No, a little bit. Why it drops off?
The reason why his offense fell off is because he was playing against better teams. That's what happened.
And is it possible that maybe with his scoring arsenal, when teams could key on him, he was prone to struggle more than a guy like Dirk Nowitzki? Because his scoring wasn't as resilient as Dirk Nowitzki.
Possibly, because
that's why I think his scoring was the most resilient.
Possibly,
than both.
But when you're talking about a guy in David Robinson, I mean, did he fall off a cliff in the playoffs? I don't think he fell off a cliff, Mars. We're talking about a guy who averaged 23, 24 a game, and then was averaging 20. He was averaging 26 in the regular season, and that goes from 26 to like 23 in the playoffs, as opposed to Dirk Nowitzki, who's averaging, 24 to still averaging around 24, 25. It's not like Dirk went from 24 to 32, something like that.
Well, if you look, I mean, you can look at it from a points per game perspective, but when you're going from 51% from the field to 41%, or going from 53%,
that's a huge drop. That is a huge drop.
Like the volume is still there because he's getting the shots up, but his efficiency drops substantially, and that's because, in my opinion, he was a jump shooting big who wasn't as good as Dirk at jump shooting, and he couldn't create easy opportunities for himself around the rim as much as I think you think he did. I don't think he was great around the rim. But in terms of actually getting to the rim, he wanted to take his little elbow jump shots. That's what he did. That's why he was called soft. Now, do I think he was soft? No. But that's why he was called soft, because he was a face-up big who wanted to take 18-foot jump shots instead of trying to play closer to the basket and back down defenders and get to little jump hooks or drop steps, whatever you want to, the real bigs, what they were doing. He wasn't doing that, and that's why his efficiency suffered, because in order to be a big who can shoot from the perimeter and still be efficient, you have to shoot like Dirk. He didn't shoot like Dirk, but he wanted to take jump shots like Dirk did. So that's the same reason I think KG struggled in terms of scoring efficiency in the playoffs, because he shot too many jump shots too, and he couldn't create easy opportunities. The same reason I think number 32 in Utah wasn't as efficient in the playoffs quite often, because he took too many jump shots. It's just something that happened. Dirk was the one, he was like the only
There's a reason why these guys able to shoot. I know we got to change the subject, Ron, but there's a reason why he shot the basketball out.
Ain't nobody played 25.
There's a reason why
25. I seen a dude talking about change the topic. You got 25 in that super chat, baby. If not, you gonna hear me.
There's a reason. There's a reason why. There's a reason why David Robinson shot in the mid range. There's a reason why he shot in the mid post, because that was an advantage. Because I'm dragging the big guy away from the basket. I'm dragging Patrick Ewing away from the basket. I'm dragging Kevin Duckworth away from the basket, and I am shot faking and getting to the basket, and I'm dunking the basketball at the rim. David Robinson wasn't just getting buckets in transition. He wasn't just shooting mid-range shots. They would go to him on the box and with that left-hand head fake and shot fake and get to the rim. He would do that. That was going on.
Yo, Chilltown is.
He would do it. He just didn't do it consistently enough to be an efficient scorer.
Bro, Chill is gonna make it seem like chill. You are chill. I'm gonna let it go. Chill. I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna let it go. You are sad, bro, for coming up here and making it seem like that David Robinson and Dirk Nowitzki offensively were close.
Scorers.
Disgusting. That is no. I'm talking about offensively. Period.
So
that is disgusting. Hold on. Because from every aspect offensively, except for maybe, and I'm even going to challenge you on a post up. But being able to create your own shot, Dirk Nowitzki could create his own shot off the dribble. David Robinson couldn't do that. David Robinson could not do that, bro. Stop lying.
Yo, fellas, I gotta get to the super chat.
Yeah, get to the super chat because Chilltown is done, man. He started off the new year horrible, bro.
Winner said, well, hold on. I got one super chat before this. I got Drink More Water. Drink More Water said, with being halfway through the season, let's look back to the previous offseason. Which transactions were you right about? Which surprised you for good or bad? And which were you wrong about? Drink More Water. We're going to talk about this tomorrow. This is going to be the topic of the episode. So just hold your horses. We're going to get into that. I appreciate you for sending that through. Winner sent through a super chat and said, I'm very impressed on how the Heat is playing. Shout out to your guy, Jaime Jaquez Ox. Off topic, chill. I got your 49ers winning the Super Bowl, but who's getting finals MVP?
You mean Super Bowl MVP?
Yeah, I assume that's what he means.
I could see Christian McCaffrey winning it. Or I could see Brock Purdy winning it too.
They're the only two players I know.
Mm-hmm.
Chilltown, they say I cooked you, dog.
But and these dudes don't even know what cooking is. They don't. They have no idea what cooking is. You know what cooking is. You know what cooking is. I'll tell you what cooking is. When I explain perimeter defense, or when Mars explains a guy like Dirk Nowitzki being an offensive player, or Ticket when you talk about a guy rebounding or whatever. That's not cooking when you make a joke and you just say, no, David Robinson.
But I made points that
you did not make a point. Ticket? No, you did not. David Robinson on the block. So David Robinson gets the blow on the block, on the left block, and he faces up Shaq. Shot fakes him, reverse pivot, head and shoulder fake, jump hook over Shaq. He was doing that. That was going on. That's number one. Number two, when the ball gets off the backboard, with him getting the ball off the backboard and kicking it out in transition, and him running to the rim and finishing at the rim.
See, here's the difference. Dirk getting off the back. Dirk's getting off the backboard sometimes and pushing it himself and finishing the transition. Yes. See, that's the difference. See, that's why I keep trying to tell you. And also, Dirk was finishing by getting it off the backboard, putting it in transition, and pulling up and hitting 3 balls in transition. Something that your boy can't do. So that puts his level at a whole nother level than what David Robinson. Because David Robinson was a guy giving it up and getting it back. Dirk was getting it off the backboard and going and getting it himself.
And what was KG? And what was KG doing?
Like Mars said, KG was giving the ball up to Terrell Brandon. He was giving the ball up to the other point guard, going down there, posting up and asking for it in the post.
So you telling me KG wasn't pushing the break? KG wasn't getting it going.
KG would play more like a guard.
Sometimes, but he wasn't doing it as much as Dirk was doing it. I give you that, Bob. He did. KG was like. He was a monster, but he wasn't as fluid as what Dirk was doing. Like he wasn't coming down, pulling up 3 balls. Like we saw Dirk just coming down, pulling up from 3 on the break. I'm talking about he was the first 7-footer that we really saw coming down, just pulling up 3s on the break like it was nothing. He was. Remember,
19-footer wasn't automatic.
Bob, here's why Chilltown is a liar, though, Bob, here's why Chilltown's a liar. And for him to be a historian in the game of basketball, he is disingenuous and disgusting to push his point. And Mars, no, I ain't lying. Charles Barkley and all those dudes were saying even before Dirk came in the league, he was smoking all them great NBA players doing that same stuff. Okay, they even said before he came in the league, when Dirk was playing pickup, they said when Dirk came from overseas, he came over cooking all these dudes, giving these dudes the business. Yes, he did say that. Yes, so for you to say that he just picked that up 8-10 years, that's a lie. He came into the league doing that, sir.
That's okay.
Not the one-legged fadeaway, but
So when did you start seeing the one-legged fadeaway?
Consistently. Oh wait, I'll tell you exactly what happened. It was the year after the We Believe Warriors. That year, the MVP year, the year after that.
That's when I thought it was. I thought it was 07 because that's when I started seeing it more. I didn't see it that much in the finals in 06. I didn't see it in the playoffs in 05 that much.
You didn't see it in the finals in 06.
I didn't see it as much.
Y'all are lying. Mars, I'm not lying. My bad. Y'all are mistaken.
I didn't see it.
I remember losing.
He was doing it. He was doing it. He didn't have it down.
He didn't have it down.
He didn't have it down where it was a part of his offense. Where it was a part of his offense where it was something like a jump.
So what was his offense
or like a
step back?
It wasn't. He didn't have it like that.
Point. How was he averaging 22, 23, 24 game up until that point? What was he doing?
Oh, because you just said it, Ticket, hitting the mid range, stopping and popping in transition on the long ball, finishing around the rim in transition.
He was also going a lot off the dribble too.
And not only that, Ticket, you just brought it up. When he was playing with Steve Nash, how much faster they were playing. So a lot of that stuff, stopping and popping in transition, shooting the long ball in transition, finishing at the rim. That one-legged step back or that one-legged shot, he was doing it. He had it down.
Everybody's watching this video.
I thought it was 2007 when he had it down.
1,500 people. I remember people's watching this video. This is the reason why I'm so happy that they got the playback now, because now all these lies that Chilltown tell, now I can actually go on playback and pull up the film and the tape and actually dispel these lies this man been telling. So when you go on playback, you can actually pull up the video and show you when Dirk will start doing these things. So all these lies can be debunked. So y'all
keep saying start, Ticket. I didn't say he wasn't doing it. He was doing it. By 2000, Mars said 2008. I said by 2007, I felt like he had it down. He was doing it, but I don't think
we did it before then.
I'm not saying once again,
I've seen games where he would do it, but
he was doing it.
Staple, like for me, it's
when it was part of his like dream shape.
I don't know how to.
Hey, Dirk, I tried to hold it down, bro. Listening, I tried to hold it down. I can't help these dudes got bad memory and stuff like that.
I mean, I'm Mars. Anyone go search up a Dirk Nowitzki one-leg fadeaway compilation. Most of them will be off the
Mars, I don't even know if he was a thought about being in existence when you was doing this.
Yeah, that's like, it's not my memory. It's me going back and watching Dirk from 02 onwards. When did I already see the one-legged fadeaway come out? 08. That's when I seen it. I'm sure you can find Dirk Nowitzki one-legged fadeaway compilation on YouTube. Most of them shots that you will see will be after 08. I'm certain of it.
And
I'm 85% sure.
It wasn't a you ain't capping for David Robinson. You capping for KG.
And you just like Ron told me that I was lying yesterday about.
I don't got to cap the KG. He already knows. KG starts.
And Ron was capping for David Robinson too. But that's okay. I know what time.
My thing is though, we got stuck on the whole offensive part. I'm talking about everything. David Robinson is the best overall player at a if I'm starting, I'm starting David Robinson. Best rebound.
Time out. Now, see, this is why I tell y'all that these dudes is cap. Ron gonna start now. Mars, listen to what I'm saying very carefully. Ron is gonna start a team with a dude who couldn't even lead his own team to win a championship. He had to wait till Tim Duncan came to win a chip. But think about this: Dirk Nowitzki led his own team. So you're telling me we saw Dirk Nowitzki get drafted, lead his own team.
This is nonsense.
But he's going to take a dude who couldn't lead his own team.
No, this is
to the finals.
This is nonsense.
He's going to take him.
You're the same one. You're the same one who just told Mars that you're not going off a 21 game sample size.
I didn't. He led his team. I said he led his team. He led his team to 2 NBA finals. He led his team to 2 NBA finals.
That's what you're talking about.
Right? No. But I'm saying, hold on. This is what I'm saying to you. Listen, what I'm saying to you. I don't think that David Robinson could have. I'll put David Robinson in the same hole as Pat Ewing. I think they were great, but I don't think he could lead his team to win a championship. Dirk did, and that's the difference. And Dirk did it, went through the gauntlet and did it. That's the difference. I don't think because Ron says he would start his team with David Robinson. I don't think you're building a team and David Robinson is your number one guy, and you can win a championship. Do you believe that, Bob?
Well, he proved that,
Mars.
He proved that.
Do I believe what?
Hold on. Ron said that he would start his team. Think about this now. He would start his team as his number one guy with David Robinson over Dirk Nowitzki.
Well,
so do you two guys think that David Robinson could have led a team to win a championship over what you've seen over Dirk Nowitzki?
Well, that's not what Ron said.
No one can do anything until you see them do it. So, like, if you
hold on. But we saw David Robinson.
My point is just like saying David Robinson can't do it because you've seen him in his career not be able to do it. That ignores the fact that was his team perfectly built for him? Maybe not. Would you say Sean Elliott and Avery Johnson is a complementary supporting cast that's going to win you a championship? Maybe not. Maybe you think it is enough because you've seen Dirk do it with Sean Marion and Jason Terry and Jason Kidd. So you're like, well, he did it without much, so this guy should do it without much. No,
please respect Sean Elliott.
They're different players who need different things. So can I say I don't think he can do it? No, I think he could do it. Do I know what he would need to do it? No, I don't know for certain what he would need. Same thing with Dirk. Do I think he can do it? Yes, he showed me he can do it. So it's easy to say. But I'm not going to say, it's like saying, well, Dirk Nowitzki's better than Kevin Durant because Kevin Durant hasn't shown me. I think KG's better than him.
So you agree with Ron? You starting your team?
No, KG for me, I said, well, I'm cutting Dirk. But I said KG is the one I'm starting.
Bobby, you starting Big Ox, you starting your team with him over Dirk? You starting your team with David Robinson over Dirk?
Well, wait a minute,
man. Man, this is,
hold on.
I'm cutting Dirk. That's me. I'm cutting.
Hold on, Ticket. Mars, that logic doesn't work because you can't tell me that. Well, I saw Dirk do it because the crew was built around him, but I didn't see David Robinson do it because the crew wasn't built around him. Well, we did see him with the crew built around him as well as it could be built around him. We saw that, and he didn't get it done.
Yeah, but
I'm not gonna knock
as well as it could be built. I don't think it was as well as it could be built.
I'm not gonna knock Dirk Nowitzki because they built a better crew around him.
No,
he showed that he could get it done.
My point I'm making is not knocking Dirk or praising David Robinson. My point is we're all gonna say someone can't do something until it's done. Right. Like they said no team can win shooting jump shots until a team went on one shooting jump shots. Now all of a sudden every team needs to shoot jump shots to win. Now, do I think David Robinson was incapable of winning? No, I think he was in a situation where he wasn't in an advantageous position to win consistently. Do I think Dirk Nowitzki was capable of winning? Yes. Even if he didn't win in 2011, I think Dirk Nowitzki was a winning player. I think watching Dirk Nowitzki in 08, 09, and 2010, he was still a player capable of winning. He just didn't have the unit around him that was going to get him over the top to win. Then you get guys like Tyson Chandler. Then Jason Kidd gets there in 09, I believe. Now you build with Jason Kidd. You get guys like Jason Terry on the team. And then you get rid of some other guys. And you bring in Rick Carlisle. Now the team's in a better situation to be successful. I'm not just going to say you can't win because you haven't shown me you can win. I think that's disingenuous. I think KG was a winning player in Minnesota. He was worse in Boston and still was able to win because the situation was better. I think I can't just say you can't do it because I haven't seen it happen. Because I think that's given a bit too much leeway to these franchises who don't build around players correctly. I think there's a lot of people who are winning players who didn't win.
Right, it's not that simple. That part I will agree with. It ain't that simple. But with that being said, when you are in the Western Conference Championship and you are the guy, right? When you are going deep into the playoffs and you are the guy and you're not getting it done and you're getting outplayed. I mean, I'd like to think that takes into account that maybe you aren't the guy to win. And that was shown with him because it wasn't like San Antonio was a poverty franchise with him there. I mean, they were in the playoffs. They were in the Western Conference Championship.
Can we look at who they were losing to?
Well, in the conference finals, they lost to Houston. They lost to Houston.
But even outside of that, though,
which that was a pretty evenly matched. That was a pretty evenly matched team.
Well, Hakeem is better. Hakeem is better than David Robinson. But that goes back to my other point.
Player in the NBA at that time.
My other point is I don't think you have to be the best offensive player to win a ring as the best guy. I think KG was the best player in Boston. Paul Pierce was probably the better offensive player, but I think KG was still the best player on the team. I think David Robinson wasn't a good enough scorer to be the best offensive option on an elite playoff offense. I don't think the Spurs were ever going to be an elite playoff offense with David Robinson. I don't think his scoring game was good enough for that to be the case. Now, I do think he was good enough to be the best player on the Spurs team that win a championship, but you just probably need someone else who's a very good scorer next to him. Now, if you tell David Robinson, hey, be this elite level scorer, and we'll just give you Sean Elliott and Avery Johnson, and you still need to anchor one of the best playoff defenses, I don't think he's good enough to do that. I don't think that's what he's capable of. But that's like saying, hey, well, Dallas, don't get Tyson Chandler to complement Dirk's defense. Dirk needs to be the best offensive player and still lead a good defense. That's not who Dirk was. So you get defensive pieces around Dirk, but because his offense is good enough, he can get you through the playoffs. I think David Robinson was the opposite. His defense is good enough, but offensively he's going to need more support. And for some reason, we seem to demonize offensive support and praise defensive support as if it doesn't really count for much. when a lot of teams win on the back of defense, and we should praise defensive support just as much as we praise offensive support. Just because David Robinson needs offensive support and Dirk needs defensive support, it doesn't mean David Robinson needs more help than Dirk Nowitzki. They both need help, just in different areas of the game because they have different weaknesses. That's how I'm viewing it. I don't think the Spurs gave him the pieces he needed because he needed offensive help, and Dallas gave Dirk the pieces he needed because he needed defensive help. And Dirk was successful, and David Robinson needed Tim Duncan to come along, and then he won what, 2 championships?
Yeah, but even furthermore, on top of that,
he was over. The last one he was over.
Let's look at who he was losing to again. All right, we know he lost to the Rockets, and they went on and won the finals. But the 4 other series that he lost in the 90s, he lost to the team that eventually went to the finals and lost to Jordan.
And won it
3 times to the Jazz and once to the Suns. So it's like he wasn't just getting bounced out in series where it's like, yo, David Robinson, what are you doing? No, he's losing to, at those times, the second best team in the NBA, who was obviously nobody was going to beat the Bulls, but he was going out in a fashion where it's like it's nothing you can really do to that.
For
you can say the same thing about Dirk.
There's something seriously wrong with you.
Dirk was getting his ass kicked in the playoffs too. If Jay Kidd and Tyson Chandler and Sean Marion ain't go over there and say
Dirk was considered a playoff choker before 2011. 06, he lost in the finals and they were up 2-0, and they said Dirk blew that series. 07, we know what happened and he sold. And 08, 09, and 2010, they were losing. Even though Dirk was playing well, they were losing in the playoffs in those years, and they were like, Dirk's never going to get it done. Then he went and got it done. All of a sudden, Dirk's been historically great, and he had failures and mishaps too. That's why I say winning back's a hell of a thing. Now we act like Dirk Nowitzki just never failed. Like, I think Dirk Nowitzki should have won the finals in 03 if he doesn't get hurt against the Spurs. But hey, he got hurt. So what can we do? But man, I just think revisionist history is interesting.
I'll say what y'all won't say. If it wasn't for Franklin High School, Dirk wouldn't have a goddamn thing. All right. If Mr. 206 himself, Jason Terry, if Franklin High School, Mr. 206 ain't come himself, Jason Terry, and saved Dirk ass, Dirk wouldn't have nothing. All right. Yeah, I said it.
For those of y'all that don't know, and y'all talking, Mars, thank you very much, sir. That's called cooking. That's called making a point. That's called cooking right there. So,
yay.
All right, we got super chats. Mr. Sauceman 123 says salute the player's choice 100. New members: Cultured Sonder, Krista Brawley, Dorian Clayton, and Player's Choice Dave gifted 10 Player's Choice memberships. Salute to anybody that got those memberships. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Another super chat from V Rose said best to worst for what they've done all time: Carmelo, Harden, Russ, Pierce, Iverson.
In terms of what they've done, like impact, like going forward, or best in terms of how good they were on the court. Like, I'm confused.
Best to worst for what?
Because in terms of what they've done, Iverson is number 1 in my opinion.
Right. That's
if we're doing best at basketball, I think it's a different list. So I'm confused.
What they've done.
Oh, then AI's one. AI's
taking
one.
Taking that team to the NBA.
I think Paul Pierce is number 1 anyway you spin it.
In terms of you think impact in terms of what he's
because I think Paul had to wait to get a super team in order to achieve to even get to the finals. Right. AI took the most probably the worst team out of all those guys had. So I would say like this. I would say AI. I would say Paul Pierce. I would say Carmelo Anthony, and then James Harden. The reason why I put Melo over Harden is because
Russell Westbrook's that too. You forgot Russ.
Yeah, and then I'll put Russ. But the reason why I will put Russ over Harden because Russ was second best player on that team with KD, and Harden was still coming off the bench. But the reason why I put Carmelo over those two guys is because Melo did go in the Western Conference Finals and took that team to the limits against Kobe and those guys. When he was with the Nuggets. I hadn't seen. I mean, James Harden had a better team. He had a better team than that, and couldn't get over. And remember, they were picked to beat the Warriors that year. The Houston Rockets were picked to beat the Golden State Warriors. So
it's the same thing that Mars just got finished talking about when he talked about winning bias. Because I mean, if you take that stuff off the table, I mean, Carmelo Anthony should be a member of the 30,000 point club, and also Russell Westbrook, he averaged a triple-double 4 times in 5 years, was the league MVP, led the league at the lead guard spot, led the league in scoring twice, and led the league in assists, I think 3 or 4 times he led the league in assists. I can appreciate the winning logic. I can absolutely appreciate that because that matters, right? That matters. You can't just be kicking ass and not winning, right? I definitely get that. But when you're talking about what they've done individually, I mean, there's really not much that Russell Westbrook, outside of winning, has not done. There's really not much that Allen Iverson has not done. So if I'm thinking about these guys outside of winning, and Russ got to be at the top of that list. Almost 25,000 points
over AI.
After what he over almost 25,000 points. Led the league.
Hold on, but over AI's impact.
Damn, averaging a triple double every team.
Bro, but the answer, man. But Chilltown, it wasn't about those stats. It wasn't about those stats with AI. With AI, it was about his impact. We talk about impact. Bro, check this out. You take AI off them Philly teams, bro. Those are lottery teams.
Absolutely,
if you take AI off those teams,
right? And if you take a guy averaging a triple double off those teams, I mean, how much more of an impact? How much impact?
Yeah, but AI did more. AI did more with those teams than what Russ did with his teams without KD.
I'd like to think that Allen Iverson
is one team. It's right. It was over.
I'm about to say
no. I'm saying no. Excuse me. I'm talking about the teams. I'm talking about when AI was in Philly, he did more with those teams than Russ did with those teams without KD when he was just there by himself getting those triple doubles.
But y'all are okay.
Russ didn't miss the playoffs.
Right? No, I'm saying they were getting smoked in the first round. AI was getting to the second round some other years too.
And AI missed the playoffs.
But y'all are okay with Paul Pierce being in this group with these.
Talking about Mars.
That's what I said.
I don't know how we're doing it. If we're judging off legacy,
when you say that though, don't lie. I mean, it's not lie because I ain't gonna say you lied because you factually told the truth. But don't withhold information. Say why AI missed the playoffs that year. Say that he missed the playoffs by a couple of games because he was hurt. They only missed the playoffs by like 1 or 2 games, and he was hurt like 10 to 15, 20 games that season. And his impact was major on that team. That's the only reason why they missed the playoffs.
You're right. But when we're talking about these players' impact, like for me, AI is, and it might not be you. I don't want to just paint everyone with the same brush. When we're talking about AI's impact, especially on winning, the teams Russ had, especially 17 when they made the playoffs and they lost in the first round.
Read the roster.
The 17.
Read the roster. Because I can show you. Because
I'll put it up. But the point I'm getting at is with AI, the impact in terms of success seems to be painted towards one.
I'm gonna do it.
You don't want to do that.
I'm going to do it. AI's rosters were nastier, man.
In the 16-17 season, when they went to the playoffs,
AI wasn't getting anywhere with these.
Hold on. But name the roster, Mars. Name the roster.
The Russell Westbrook one?
Yeah. Name that roster.
Okay.
Now watch this, Chilltown.
You actually don't even. I remember who was on that roster.
But
we gonna read it. I just don't want to leave anyone out. So you got Russell Westbrook. You got Victor Oladipo.
Hold on. That's another dude that's giving you what? How many points? Like 16, 17, 18 a game?
16.
Right. So hold on. Let's start right there, Chilltown. Name me the other guard that was giving AI that production.
Okay, first of all, we understand era differences. 15 years apart, how different offenses were.
No. I know.
We understand that.
No.
So we understand
16
then isn't the same as 16.
But name me the other. Was it Aaron McKee who was averaging 11? Was it?
Once again, we're going to 01 because if I bring up Jerry Stackhouse,
but that's his first year. We talking about his first year.
He had Jerry Stackhouse, right?
But that's his first year. That's 1 year.
No, and not
Jerry Stackhouse was there for a couple years, if I remember.
No, I might be next year. And the next year he was gone. Remember, I think.
Yeah, and that's right. And then if I bring up Dikembe Mutombo as Defensive Player of the Year,
okay, but he only played 20-some games. He got traded.
Yeah, and guess who was there before that? Theo Ratliff, all defensive caliber big man.
He got hurt.
No,
that's why he got traded. That's why he got traded.
He didn't get traded. He was out the rest of the season. They traded for Mutombo.
That's why he got
traded Theo Ratliff for Mutombo.
For that reason,
no. Hold on.
My point is they replaced the defensive player.
That's right. He came back. Right. Hold on, Mars.
So that's what I'm saying. Offensive help and defensive help aren't the same thing because that's before Victor Oladipo.
Okay, but hold on, Mars. Hold on. See, that's why I'm going to cook you. So now, because we can look at the defense for the OKC Thunder too. They had defensive guys over there too.
Yeah, we got Andre Roberson.
Yeah, he was defensive guy.
Steven Adams, if you want to say he was excellent, no, but he was.
He was solid. He was
a solid defender, and Oladipo was
a solid defender. But stop right there, Mars. Stop right there. So who you taking? Steven Adams or Tyrone Hill?
No, I'm with you. But defensively, sure, I'm with you. But then we carry on with the rest of the OKC roster. We've got three defenders. We've got Oladipo decent, Andre Roberson great defender, and Steven Adams a decent defender.
Keep going.
The rest of the roster, Ennis Freedom.
Hold on, he was giving you a double off the bench, right or wrong?
No, not a double. No.
What was he averaging?
14 and 7. 14 and 7.
14 and 7. Okay,
wait, while being one of the worst defenders in the NBA. While being one of the worst defenders in the NBA.
No. Okay, so Mars. Okay, no problem, Mars. No problem. So I already gave you Tyrone Hill. No problem, right?
Sure.
Who was better than him or Matt Geiger?
I'll give you. Yeah, he's better than Matt Geiger, sure, but he's also one of the worst defensive.
Okay, so keep going. Keep going. I'm gonna cook this boy 3 to hard.
Then we've got Alex Sabrinas.
All right, I give you that. No, well, all you gotta do is look at AI's roster. AI had bona fide scrubs on the end of that roster.
I'm talking about the players who are legitimately getting minutes. Alex Sabrinas was playing for the OKC Thunder. Alex Sabrinas. You got Jeremy Grant before he was good. Wasn't even a great defender at that time. Jeremy Grant before he was good. We spoke about Andre Roberson being a great defender, one of the worst offensive players in the NBA.
Right, I give you that. But hold on. But AI had some of the worst offensive players in the league too. Tell the truth.
He did. But they were also the best defense in the league. Same way OKC was a top 10 defense.
Mars, you a dirty dog.
Samaj Kristen. You guys remember Samaj Kristen? He's most famous for getting into it with Steph at a jump. If you remember that season,
shout out Samaj.
He had a little kerfuffle with Steph Curry. That's all we will remember Samaj Kristen for.
So Mars.
Anthony Morrow.
I ain't even say Eric Snow yet. He was horrible offensively. He was a steady point guard. He was a good get you in the system point guard. Huh?
Horrible. I don't know. I remember him hitting that little floor at the end of game 1 against the Lakers.
Horrible offense.
Eric, hold on. You go. Hey, Chilltown, don't do this. Hold on, Mars. Hold on 1 second. Stand down 1 second, Mars. Chilltown, you better not do this, bro. You better not do this with Eric Snow, bro. Whoa.
As a scorer, I mean, he wasn't a known jump shooter in the league. No, he was not.
Oh yeah,
he was not a known jump shooter in the league. But horrible offensively,
this is his average, bro.
Once again, Ticket. We're talking about a guy.
Y'all see it? Y'all see it, Ron?
Right.
Y'all see that? Right. That's Eric Snow, bro.
Okay. Wait. See. This is what we're talking about when we're talking about a guy, quote unquote, cooking. Okay. When he was playing with Allen Iverson that year, that Ticket is talking about. Okay, he averaged 7 assists a game that year. Not only did he do that, he also only averaged 2 turnovers. He was taking care of the basketball. He wasn't a jump shooter. He wasn't a guy who was going to get downhill and score the basketball. That team was predicated on Allen Iverson doing a lot of that stuff. But if you flip that around, and like Mars just said, you talk about that roster, Russell Westbrook had to do way more. He was their leading rebounder. He was their leading scorer. He was their leading distributor. He did all of those things for them. Allen Iverson was their bucket getter, who also had an elite defender behind him. Allen Iverson was their bucket getter, who had the best rotation player in the league in Aaron McKee. So when we're talking about it, they didn't have the defensive player of the year.
On the perimeter,
they didn't have the best rim protector in the game. They didn't have the best interior defender.
Yeah, but it's different when you're elite perimeter. It's different when it's an elite perimeter defender.
Hold on, Mars. Was Cephalosha still there?
No. I don't think Cephalosha was there.
Nah,
he might have been in Atlanta.
Hold on.
Yeah, he was gone. He was gone. Remember, that's when he had his little incident. Remember, he had his incident before that?
Hold on. It was Russ. Hold on. The lineup was Russ. It was Roberson.
It was Russ, Oladipo, Roberson, Domantas Sabonis as a rookie, and Steven Adams.
That's cold right there, Chilltown.
Rookie Sabonis? Okay.
No, what was Rookie Sabonis averaging that
year? Rookie Sabonis averaged 6 points and 4 rebounds, shooting.
Right, and then you had Enes Kanter coming off the bench,
shooting 40% from the field as a bench.
Right, but you had Enes Kanter,
borderline superstar.
Facts. Yeah, and then Ennis Freedom will come in and be one of the worst defenders in the league. Yes. The issue with the roster was it was so unbalanced. You didn't have the only person who was decent on both ends of the floor was Oladipo. Everyone else is either you play offense and can't play defense, or you play defense and can't play offense.
That's what Mars. You're hilarious, Mars. Because AI had the same type of players. Either they could play defense and wasn't good offensively.
I agree. I'm saying both rosters were tremendously flawed. And I'm saying when we talk about doing more with less, Allen Iverson seemed to get painted like it's 1 year where he did a lot with the bad team, which is 0-1, and then every other year
But he did more. Hold on. But he did more. Hold on. But in that
they
one
didn't
year,
do more with less than any of the other years.
No. But in that 1 year, he did more than what Russ ever did, averaging triple doubles, Mars.
Yeah, because Russell Westbrook played in the Western Conference and AI was in the Eastern Conference.
But hey, hold on, Mars. Don't do that, Mars. Don't.
He was. Russell Westbrook lost to the Houston Rockets in his MVP year in a series where the OKC Thunder were beating the Rockets in every single minute that Russell Westbrook played. They lost, and Russell Westbrook played like 44 minutes a game. They lost the series in 5 games because they lost every single time Russell Westbrook was off the floor. And that's why you had that famous interview again with Russell Westbrook where they asked Steven Adams, how are you guys losing so much when Russ is on the bench? He's like, this is the whole team sort of trying to separate us. That's what happened. They lost because Russ Westbrook wasn't on the floor for 48 minutes.
You're disgusting, Mark. I just want you to know.
That's a fact, Ticket. That's what happened.
You're disgusting for this, bro. Bro, listen, no. But hold on. Mars.
And you keep talking about.
No. Hold on, chill. Check it out.
And I'm not saying Russell Westbrook's better than AI. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying they both had nothing.
Been doing though. Mars has been on this bandwagon where they have tried to tear down AI to uplift guys like
AI is better than Russell.
So I already know Mars's game. I know what he do. He is in a clique that have been currently always trying to tear down AI's legacy. So Mars will never ride with AI.
Clique is hilarious.
No. I see this thing.
It's true though. It's true.
I think AI is probably better than Russ. He may be better than Russ. Like I'm 50-50 on it. My point is about the doing more with less thing. It seems to be based on 1 year. Because outside of that 1 year, he wasn't doing more with less because he got out the first round one time in his career. That's what happened.
So Chilltown,
when he got with Carmelo, he was losing in the first round when he played in the West.
Hold on, Chilltown. Do you agree with Mars? You think that should be held against AI? Did he play in the East versus West playing in the West?
Do I think that Russell Westbrook playing in the West?
Do you agree with Mars when he tried to use that against AI, who was carrying his teams, when he said, "Oh, he
played in the weak East
versus Russ playing in a stronger West"?
I don't do that. I don't do that Eastern Conference, Western Conference.
I'm saying we can understand that if someone's going further in a conference that's weaker versus someone playing in a stronger conference, it doesn't matter how far they go.
Mars, you don't realize what just happened. Y'all hold on.
Yo, he's gonna go to LeBron James.
Hey, Ron.
Yeah, you know it. Here we go. Here we go.
Hey, Ron. This boy Chilltown is the slickest as they come. Chilltown, you are a smart boy, man. I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. Chilltown got gray hairs, boy. That dude's smarter than anything. Cause Chill, you know one thing, though. You know, and I know. I was waiting for you to say. Yeah, man, because I was
because I know where you was going. I know where you was going, Ticket. I know where you was about to go. It was like, no, I ain't doing that. No. Let me tell you what Ticket just did. Ticket just walked me to a door and opened up the door, and it's dark down there. And he go, yo, go ahead, come on in. Not knowing now on the other side of that door is a bunch of goons with bats. There's a bunch of goons with bats on the other side of that door. Come on in,
Bob.
Chill.
I was
come on in, Chill. I
was waiting on him to say, yeah. You smart, Chilltown.
I was born tonight, Ticket. I wasn't born last night, though.
Yo, fellas, we got to keep it pushing. We got a few more minutes left, and we haven't talked about the Clippers and the Thunder game last night. Paul George went off for 38. The Clippers basically took care of the Thunder. It was a good game in the first half. In the second half, Clippers kind of, took control. But how do we feel about this? Do we have any takeaways? Anybody want to comment on this?
I seen Kawhi Leonard be better than Jason Tatum, but that's besides the point. That's
last night?
Yeah. You don't see some of those passes he was making?
Hey, Kawhi was dropping some dimes.
Yeah, you don't see that Kawhi in the passing? Hey, it's like he heard me. He was like, yeah, Mark was cooking. Let me make some of these reads.
I thought that was crazy when I was watching him. And he's flipping the ball out to the long ball line. He's getting to the basket, up and in. I'm thinking, yo, is this the same Kawhi Leonard who does not pass? Did he actually hear me? What's going on with Kawhi Leonard?
That's insane. Kawhi Leonard passing developed.
What's going on? This dude is now passing the basketball with the best of them. So they just look what they look like, Ron, was they look like a young team going up against a vet team last night. Yeah, that's what they look like more than anything. They look like a young team going up against a vet team, and I think that's going to be, in addition to them not being able to rebound like that and not being able to man the paint like that. I think that's going to be the difference in the playoffs. They're going to have a difficult time with that.
Chill, remember that was my thing with OKC. I wasn't even before in the offseason when me and Damo was getting into it. I wasn't saying that OKC sucked. I was just saying they gonna get their ass kicked when it comes playoff time because they're not experienced enough. When they play against teams like the Clippers, when they play against teams like even the Lakers, teams like all these teams that have been around the block, the Heat, if they were to play against them or the Nuggets, it's just too much. It's too much.
It's not only that they're just not experienced enough, Ron. They're just not good enough yet.
And
they're not good enough.
You said AI's not better than Westbrook. See, that's why I said you can go ask any NBA player that played. They'll all tell you. All the NBA players will say AI. They have AI over Westbrook. All the media and the fanboys, they'll say something different. But when you actually talk to the players, this is the same. Hold on. I want to say this. This is the same argument that guys will have about Kobe. Gilbert Arenas will sit up there on this show and say, "Hey, man, Kobe Bryant's the best player I've ever seen, I've ever played against." But then he'll say, "Oh, but LeBron's the GOAT." But then he'll say it's not about stats. But then he'll say the reason why he got LeBron past
we don't listen to
because of hold on. He said it's because of stats. So here's what I'm saying to y'all. You guys say that based off the stats that Russell Westbrook accumulated as far as the triple doubles. So that's why y'all saying that y'all think he better than AI. But when you have old school cats that played the game, guys that have been in the league, guys that have watched both guys their whole career, all the NBA cats say AI.
Ticket. That's not good enough. Even if that's true, Ticket.
Cut from that same cloth though. Like
he is though. But that logic doesn't work. Ticket. It can't just be because you think that he's better because you played in the NBA. Production matters.
No, I'm saying no. Chill.
And I do think that AI is better. I do think that AI is better, but we can't take Russell Westbrook's production off the table. We can't do that.
Hold on, chill. And I won't do that. We're not doing that. All I'm saying is this. This is what I'm saying, and maybe we can say this for a different day, Ron. But when we grade players, see, this is a thing that I was trying to say like to Mars all this time, bro. Like the guys who played, like Bob and all us, right? We may not judge guys in numbers all the time, as far as just your stats and your production. We may grade you by all the other intangibles that come in and are part of the game as well. That's why guys run around and say Draymond. That's why they say Draymond Green's a Hall of Famer, not because of his stats alone, but because of what they call intangibles and stuff like that he has in his game. So when I talk about AI, I'm saying that a lot of players look at AI and say he got intangibles, some intangibles that Russ don't have. Like, you know what I'm saying? They feel like that. They feel like AI was just a notch better than Russ.
That's
They feel like he's just a notch.
But this the thing though, Tiki. First of all, I think everybody, whether you ever touch the basketball or not, you should agree that Draymond Green is a Hall of Famer. Y'all know I'm not a fan of Draymond Green, but he's a certified Hall of Famer. No questions asked, no debate. But Tiki, I do disagree that I think and let's just keep it just in we could just keep it just NBA players or just like high level pros or however you want to keep it. I don't think those guys all agree with each other. I think there's a lot of guys that disagree. Like I think there's some people in the NBA that feel this way, and some I don't think that we can say, oh, hoopers feel this way. I don't think it's that cookie cutter or blanket statement. You know what I'm saying? I think there's some guys in the NBA that look at it more like JJ Redick might look at things, and you got guys in the NBA that might look at it like Kenyon Martin might look at things. You know what I'm saying?
And I appreciate that.
They're gonna have it's gonna be that conversation is gonna come up chill when Russ retires. That conversation is gonna come up. Guys like him and AI in that bracket. And they're gonna talk about that. Whenever Russ retires, that conversation is gonna come up, Bob. And I'm guaranteeing y'all
win this year.
That's what I was about to say, Mars. It's gonna get even worse if they win it. If they
most of the players are gonna say AI. Watch what I tell y'all.
That's what I'm telling y'all. That's why I said to y'all a month ago, 2 months ago, what happens if this thing actually works? What kind of conversation are we going to be having about?
It's not working because of Russ. Russ ain't the one that's making
that ain't the point, Big Ox. That's not the point.
They're going to bring up how AI struggled to sacrifice.
Oh my God, more.
Fellas, we got to wrap it up. We got to wrap it up.
Hold on, real quick, Ron, because they said that shit just to save face for Russ. Russ ain't asked to come off no damn bench. Ty Lue finally made a decision like, yo, Russ.
I'm just saying they're gonna bring it up. I'm just saying.
And he could, and Big Ox, just so you know, he could have flipped over some tables. He could have been a disruption, but he wasn't. So he sacrificed. Allen Iverson wouldn't have done that. In fact, Allen Iverson said that. Why should I have to come off the bench? Does the best player in the world come off the bench? Does an Olympic gold medalist come off the bench? Does the league leading scorer come off the bench? It's going to be conversations like that if the Clippers end up winning the championship. That's going to happen. I know that you want to hear that, but it is.
We will be back at the same time tomorrow with the same crew. Y'all be sure to tap in. Remember tonight, the Mavs versus Lakers game at 8:30 Eastern. We will be on Playback. Y'all come check us out. It's gonna be epic. Y'all be sure to tap in definitely. And also remember too, on Playback, in case you didn't know, we are giving away some NBA League Pass membership. So be sure to tap in and get you a chance to win an NBA League Pass membership. And also we got 20 VIP passes anyway. So if you are one of the first 20 people there, you will be able to watch the game for free.
Oh, Ron,
so
and our thoughts and prayers go out to the Golden State Warriors assistant coach. They canceled that game tonight.
Yeah,
he has a serious condition. They canceled the game tonight, so it has to be serious. What's going on with him, bro?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Ron, y'all gonna reimburse me for my league pass? I already paid for it.
The press box is next. You guys be sure to tap in. If somebody send Ox a super chat to reimburse them. But the press box is next. It's NFL playoff time. Y'all definitely want to go in there and tune in.
Hey, you gonna read them super chats on Playback that you missed right here?
All right, y'all.